ever hear a bad man? World needs bad men. We keep the other bad men from the door. Some things are a matter of duty.
The world's greatest radio show in Tennessee.
That doesn't sound right, but I don't know enough to dispute.
I was about to take advice from a clown who dives headfirst into the shallow end of the booth.
It's Talk Sports with John Reed and Cody McClure.
If it is to be said, so it be. So it is. So it is. So it is. It's a Tennessee thing.
Well, I'm holding
Back in the booth, back on the airwaves, coming at you live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. John Reed, Sam Beard, Bad News, Bubba. Got producer Zach running the video. Bubba smiling at me. I can see him much better now. He's not doing the whole home improvement, hide behind the computer screens now. Sam, top of the morning to you, my friends. How are you?
Good morning, John. Doing good. Cold morning this morning, but one that you kind of just – I haven't been getting out early enough to get my car, like, defrosted, so I've just been going windows down with the condensation and everything on my windows. So it's a frigid drive in. My commute isn't long enough for my car to really get, like, all the way warmed up, so it's kind of tough.
You got like another 2 weeks, I think, where that is a fair substitution. But I don't know if I want you holding your head out the window in like 25-degree weather, not being able to see. You're going to have to just wake up and go out there and defrost it. I will say that's my favorite part of having a newer car.
The push to start?
Yeah, or just like having it on the app.
Mm-hmm.
Like where you can just open it and like, hey, start warming up the car. You know, that's been my favorite part. That's the champagne toast, the champagne wishes, the champagne dreams. I'm a pretty simple man otherwise, but I have grown accustomed to making sure my car is either cooled off or heated up before I get in it now. That's the one thing of luxury I actually enjoy.
That is nice for just all the seasons too, because it's almost just as bad going in the summer and it's just 110 degrees in your car and you're just sweating immediately when you get in there.
Bubba, you good over there?
I'm all right. I had a bad sequence of events in the night. I've my candle that I was trying to make, where you combine like the remnants of other candles, just shattered on me last night. So that made me pretty sad, just having to pick up glass. And then I had one of the worst dreams I think I've ever had. It was about me getting a parking ticket.
Okay.
So like I was like weaving through traffic, and then I ended up at this like shopping strip, and then like I get to my car and like the attendee's like, I'm writing this ticket for you, and I'm looking at somehow like I guess a clock appeared or whatever, and it's like 10:15 is the magic number, and it's like 10:14 is like, yeah, it's right on time, man. And then he's like, are you a college student? I'm like, no, sir. And he goes, no, I want to say you're a college student. And it's like, well, how's that gonna help me out? And then I woke up, and then because it was in the morning, I didn't know what to do with my life, so I ate a sandwich from an establishment that had teriyaki chicken on it.
This morning?
Yeah. Gremlin hours, Sam. They thought Halloween was over. Not for me, man.
7 a.m. teriyaki chicken sandwich is concerning.
You know, there's a lot of eating habits that I find concerning, but there's also, I think, some freedom in it. Just eating whatever you want whenever you can get your hands on it. Because sometimes I'll be hungry here even, and I'll have my lunch packed, and I think, how weird would it be if I just actually ate this for breakfast? Like, what is this weird if I open this up at 9:30 and eat it?
The food don't care when you eat it.
Yeah, exactly.
When did we create, like, hey, this is breakfast food specifically? I feel like there was a time where people just ate whatever they wanted to eat at any time of the day in terms of mealtime.
There's some freedom to it. Just going out and doing it. Whenever I eat breakfast for dinner, I feel pretty good with that. So when that happens, used to love that as a kid. 7 p.m., mom's fixing biscuits and gravy. You're like, what the hell's going on here? But I still loved it. I don't know if I'd like a big old like chicken parmesan at like 7 o'clock in the morning, but hell, maybe I would. Maybe I should eat bigger.
I would love that.
Maybe I should eat bigger breakfasts to have the fuel for the day. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. Producer Zach, you good over there this morning?
I am good. Got to be in TBA last night for the Vols win against Mercer. Good experience. Good fan atmosphere. Everybody was happy to be there.
Unless you said TBA, not the FCC.
Right.
TBA at FCC.
FCC.
The Thompson Bowling Arena at the Food City Center. Show some proper respect to, a company, not to lick the boot of Food City, but I mean, hey, they're giving the university money. We need some money. They need to be shown some proper respect. All right,
Tongues wide open right there, John.
Bubba, they're paying. They're ponying up.
They cut the check.
They cut the check. Now, I'm not going to go as far as saying Neyland Stadium preserved by pilots, but they didn't want to make it the pilot stadium. If they had called it the pilot stadium, we'd have had a different conversation. I don't know. So you were in attendance last night?
I was.
How was traffic? How was getting in and out of there?
Beautiful. No issues. The biggest traffic issue was the renovation of the men's restroom, where we only have 2 urinals up there in the concourse.
Okay.
On that side. 2 urinals and then 2 stalls. And of course, 100 plus people trying to use the bathroom.
I will say the silver lining for Danny White about your football team losing to Oklahoma is that I didn't see too many people complaining about the entrance to the game. People had gotten back just to being worried about the team and arguing and yelling at each other. It wasn't so much hey, Danny, it took an hour to get in here, 45 minutes to get out or whatever, an hour and a half to get out, 2 hours to get out. I didn't see too much crying about that. This one was just about, hey, the team let you down. Basketball, I didn't see anything about traffic in or out. It was just, hey, man, that's a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers.
We'll get into that after the break. That'll be our story of the day. But, Sam, did you watch any NFL last night? Anything cool in your life?
I watched a little bit of NFL. I watched this. It's this movie. It's like a dog show mockumentary.
A dog show mockumentary?
Yeah,
okay.
Best in Show.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
It was pretty funny.
From way back in the day.
It was pretty funny.
Okay.
That was just kind of like a mid-afternoon watch. I was planning on going out and playing a little bit of golf because I just got some new clubs, but I don't know. And when I walked outside yesterday, the weather just really turned me off, just 45-ish, 50, and just gray and windy, and wasn't really the most motivating conditions to go out there and play. But it's not like it's going to improve any better, so I need to just suck it up and get out there before the season officially changes, because I do want to swing the new sticks, but I decided to watch a dog show mockumentary instead.
What'd you get?
Club-wise?
Yeah.
Bunch of whole different stuff. I got like some Strixon irons, Cleveland wedges, some new hybrids, new shaft in the driver, the whole shebang. It feels good to have like a
awesome.
fresh bag. I've never had that.
Yeah, you were headed out to go play. I'm surprised you let the weather knock you off, although I guess you live like less than 10 minutes from here, so I think it would be hard to ignore the appeal of home calling you.
Yeah.
I watched an old 90s movie last night as well. My best friend's wedding didn't really hit for me, although I did appreciate Julia Roberts and young Cameron Diaz. At least I had that going for it. But
that always plays.
Yeah, the whole plot and premise. If I'm going to watch a rom-com, I got to be rooting for people, and I wasn't rooting for anybody to be happy in this movie, especially not the two main characters. I thought they both sucked. Young Cameron Diaz, they tried to really simplify her up, which wasn't working for me either. And she is a goddess. Then I watched Marvin Harrison Jr. Then I watched Auburn survive.
I had that on.
I was watching our basketball team kind of disappoint me. We'll get into that. Brooks Austin going to come up at 9:20. I don't know how many more of these I'll ask him to do with the football season winding down, but we will put a bow on the Tennessee-Oklahoma game and find out, I guess, what went wrong. We know what went wrong. I don't know. I like talking to Brooks. We'll do a little more of our autopsy of the season and the game. Look for something to be excited about for the last 3 games. But Tennessee basketball coming up next. Bubba, send us a break. We'll come back. Let's talk sports on Fan Run Radio.
Big Orange Country's home for sports. This is Fan Run Radio.
Welcome to Axle Logistics, where excellence isn't just a goal, it's an energy. As a leading third-party logistics company, Axle is powered by an award-winning culture built on a work hard, play hard mentality. Here, the drive for success is contagious and hard work never goes unnoticed. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up, Axle Logistics is the place to launch your career. Join us and take your ambition to the stars. To learn more, visit axlelogistics.com.
What kind of day is it? It's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. Come on, grab a pack. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavor. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Yeehaw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues. Every bet type you can imagine. Live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
For over 3 years, Crumble Cookies has served the Knoxville area. From Clinton Highway to Parkside Drive. Even our friends out in Maryville have reached you, our fans, with the best cookies in the game. This fall, Crumble is gearing up for yet another fantastic season. Whether you're tailgating or looking for a pick-me-up after getting the kids from school, Crumble has you covered. Download the Crumble app to check out this week's rewards and features. And stop on by. Tell them Fan Run sent you, but don't miss the cookies.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Back in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. I feel like I needed a couple White Claws watching Tennessee's offense for a good portion of the first half last night. So you know it's going to be ugly in the season openers, but I'd hoped, at least personally, that Tennessee would come out and play a little bit cleaner and a little bit sharper, because to me it didn't seem like it should be treated as an opener whenever you've played Duke and you had the other closed door scrimmage with, was it Ohio State, right? Like you had gotten that rust knocked off. You had actually played some high level basketball. The Duke game was, maybe I shouldn't say high level, but at least a high level opponent. I'd hope maybe that would lead to a more rust being knocked off type of performance than we got in game one. Sam, what was your takeaway from Tennessee's a little too close for comfort's win? Never in doubt, but you look up in the late second half and it's like a 12-point game and you're like, what the hell's happening here? Never in danger of losing, but definitely didn't flex your muscle on them.
For sure, kind of a strange game last night. Turnovers, obviously kind of the name of the game in this one, just kind of keeping them around in it as well. Didn't shoot the three that great in the first half. I thought you shot the three a lot better in the second half, and that's when you were able to kind of separate yourself a little bit. But to be honest with you, I am kind of expecting, I'm not really expecting this Tennessee team to just kind of hit the ground running this season. I think with so many new faces, kind of new identities, guys that had been there for 4 years before aren't really there anymore, and you're kind of entering a new age of Tennessee basketball, and your star player is a freshman, and even despite him being a 5-star, I think it's going to take kind of him some time to adjust to the game a little bit. And so I think, you'll see some of these starts to the season maybe for Tennessee where it'll end up being a comfortable victory, but maybe for one half or something like that, it's definitely not the cleanest operation. But I still think to put up, 76 points with however many turnovers we had yesterday is still somewhat impressive.
Especially when you score 43 in the second half, you kind of knock that rust off. Like you said, you finally hit a couple three-pointers. I want to say you hit 3 in like a 5 or 6 possession stretch. You really got going. They flashed the graphic up at the bottom. Like, Tennessee's hit 4 of their last 5 field goals. And you said, okay, feel pretty good about that. Troy Henderson, I know he banked one of those threes in, but, the first corner 3 he shot looked good. Like, he looked like a guy that can maybe play here. I don't know about his freshman year, but he looked the part as an SEC player. I don't know if it was the Zakai Ziegler of it all, but, when you hear his similar story, I think I expected him to be a little bit smaller. And then you actually see him on the court, and you're like, okay, never mind. There's some SEC size here. He looked pretty good. JP Estrella, to me, was the story of the game. I thought, especially in the first half, I thought he was awesome. I thought he was really good. I think his offensive game is going to be a big boost. We'll see how long Rick Barnes keeps the starting lineup the way it is. We'll see, at what point he starts switching stuff up, because, got to be honest, I don't love the starting lineup really at all. I think when you look at the way Tennessee started offensively, I don't think it's necessarily working either, but I think Estrella, if he is going to be off the bench, would be a really, really big boost, a real big shot in the arm if he is to stay there, because he came in and was some instant offense. That's when Tennessee started scoring, is when he got in. I thought he was awesome last night.
Yeah, no, I think he's going to be a huge factor for this team this year. And I've talked about that front court versatility, and I think that's what you're going to see. And like you said, maybe that starting lineup changes. Maybe you do kind of get him in there. And, if defensively, I feel like maybe that's kind of the difference maker right now between him and like a Jalen Carey. But I think it's just going to kind of change game by game, matchup by matchup. Maybe you play a little bit bigger team and you got Carey in there, or you play someone like a Florida who's kind of got some, some skilled big guys type of thing, and you can throw Estrella in there. So I think what you can mix and match with this front court is going to be really good. And hell, even Dwayne Brown kind of showed another pretty solid performance from himself as well. And Barnes said that he thinks Dwayne Brown and Henderson are both going to be able to, carve a rollout on this team this year.
Man, there's a lot of mouths to feed here.
So you talk about the starting lineup, and that's one thing I'm just not going to pay that much attention to right now, because, we made switches in the first 2 minutes.
Sure.
And, the starting lineup was Jacoby, Bishop, Nate, Akpar, and Jalen Carey.
Mm-hmm.
And then, throughout we saw a whole lot of, Carey and Brown kind of switching roles. We had, Cade and JP switching roles out there. Berg was in there for a bit. So just a lot of different lineups. And
sure.
I still wonder, how long do you think that'll be before we kind of narrow it down to more and more, instead of, because through the first half, there's 25 different iterations out there.
Yeah, 11 people played double-digit minutes. And, Masamba and Amari Evans got in, towards the very end. But 11 guys, your 5 starters, and then 6 off the bench played at least 11 minutes. So you're right, Bubba. There was a lot of versatility, and there was a lot of mixing and matching, a lot of different iterations of those lineups. You're not wrong in saying you're not going to worry about who's starting for now. You're not wrong, and I don't think the starting lineup is what it's going to look like in SEC play. But I will say, when that starting lineup's out there and you get off to a really slow start and kind of only have, 4 points the first 6 minutes of the game, I'm going to look and be a little bit more critical of the starting lineup then. especially like because Carey's not really a scorer by any means. He could get some putbacks around the rim. Akbara showing off some more range with a really good 3-point stroke, but like he so far hasn't fit in as a scorer yet. And then you throw Boswell out there, who he knows not a scorer. That's just a lot of guys out there that I'm not sure should be playing together. But you are 100% correct that there's no sense in freaking out about it now. It'll work itself out. The question is, when does the rotation start kind of figuring itself out? But I don't think we'll see that really until maybe 2 weeks from now against Rice at best. Like I think the next 2 games against Northern Kentucky and North Florida, I think both of those will be similar games where you just kind of fill the opponent out and play a bunch of people. But I wouldn't be surprised if you get to the Rice game and Tennessee State and you're trying to kind of really tighten up your rotation before you head to Vegas to play in that basketball tournament.
I don't want to jump too far into things either, but it seems like some guys, I don't know if it's just because it's the first game or what, but it seems like they have a shorter leash than others. I feel like one of those guys was Jalen Carey. So there was a possession early on in like the first half when like he failed to properly like box somebody out to get the offensive like rebound or something like that, and Barnes immediately pulls him, and then Akbar commits like 2 fouls. And I think Barnes like pulled him not shortly after that, but even then, like just I guess the new faces, shorter leashes.
When I read Phil Jackson's book, he's talking about winning 11 rings and like, coaching, secrets to coaching. And it was either that one or the one from the Bulls in the 90s. I read a couple books. But like one thing that stood out to me was him talking about how everyone on the team's different. And some guys basically said you had to find one guy on the team that's going to be the one that you just mother bleep. Like you're going to be the one coaching him hard and he's strong enough to take it. And you're going to basically get through to other people by yelling at one guy. He talked about how he did it with Horace Grant and how he couldn't yell at Jordan and couldn't really yell at Pippen because Jordan would hold a grudge and Pippen would like go into his shell. He was too soft. So he's like, I found Horace Grant and just yelled at him all the time. And that's how I got through to the rest of the team. And it worked. And it eventually led to Horace Grant wanting to go to the Magic because he hated being yelled at and didn't like being, disrespected and not getting a big enough piece of the credit for their success. But like it does, when I watch Jalen Carey, I feel like he's going to be that guy on this team. Like, I don't know if he came from Vanderbilt to Tennessee to be coached hard, but like he's a veteran that probably knows how Rick Barnes gets down. And like he came here, I don't imagine Sam with like guaranteed starter minutes or anything. It's kind of like, hey, you can come in here, you can compete, you can do all this. But it's funny watching the juxtaposition. Nate Ament, who hasn't played 2 great games by any means. After both games, Rick Barnes, hey, Nate's awesome. He's going to figure it out. Hey, Nate, this is going to, whenever this all clicks for him, he's going to be a beast.
But he hardly left the floor.
Right. And I think Rick Barnes knows that he's the straw that stirs this drink here. But he also knows he's going to be really good and maybe shouldn't be the one he mother bleeps. Jalen Carey on the other end, first game. Hey, how many minutes he play? How many rebounds he get? Yeah, that's not good enough. That sucked. He's got to be better. Misses a box out first half. You're coming out. Get your ass on the bench. I'm going to yell at you and put you back in. And to Carey's credit, he did grab 10 rebounds in this game, 5 of them offensive rebounds. So I do think that like the rebounding, it did click for him. And his role is to be out there be an enforcer, grab rebounds. We should never question his softness or his boxing out. So I think Rick Barnes is going to send a message with him. Now on the flip side, Sam, I don't remember Jalen Carey feeling so chunky at Vanderbilt. I do feel like he's put on some pounds maybe, and I do think that's hurt him around the rim with a little, versatility and athleticism. And I do look and think that his 8 points probably isn't going to be 8 points against good SEC competition. I think he kind of benefited from a small, kind of weaker Mercer front line. I wasn't overly impressed with Carey, but I will give him credit for at least going out there and rebounding.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to be kind of that high motor effort guy. When you talk about how many mouths there are to feed on this team, I do wonder if he's kind of a guy that if you're not having an on night being that high energy guy, just going out there and snagging boards, I do wonder if, he's kind of the odd man out sometimes in that sense. But I do think you're right about just, I think he did want to come in here and get coached hard. And I remember back in the summer when we got him, like there was a comment that Rick Barnes thought he was kind of the most He was the guy that this team needed most, and I think he maybe needed that edge and somebody to be able to come in and set a physical tone, and I'm sure that, he probably takes that coaching pretty well. Dad was an NFL guy. His brother played at Duke. Like, he's got kind of the lineage to be able to go out there and take that. So, yeah, I mean, what we get from him offensively, I kind of agree with you. I don't think it's necessarily going to be anything super consistent, but I do think he's going to be a guy that goes out there and grabs some boards when you need him as well.
Bishop Boswell, another start. Only 17 minutes because, everyone's rotating in. Do we think that he is going to be a part of this rotation? Because he's getting the first two cracks against Duke and against Mercer of starting. Sam, are you bracing for him being a part? He did hit a three. He did show off a little shot, I believe. I'd be shocked if he hit more than like 2 threes all of last year. So, he has shown at least a little bit more offensive game. Do you think that he is going to be a part of this team's main identity?
I don't think so long term.
By the way, looking at his game log last year, 0 threes made last year.
Okay.
Only shots. Quick math, 5. Only shot 5 on the year. Perusing the game log. So he shot 2 tonight and hit 1 or last night.
That's volume right there, baby.
Well, you laugh, but I do think that's progress.
Yeah.
If you're going to be out there, we saw it with Jemai Meshack, and look, Boswell has a similar makeup to Meshack in terms of, hey, I just want to be out here and play defense. But you can't be a complete zero on offense, not in the SEC.
Yeah, I think offensively, that's where he's really going to struggle. I know that last year our fan base loved getting wrapped up in the old plus minus, but he did finish with the highest plus minus on the team yesterday. And was a willing rebounder. I mean, I think that's obviously, you take those kind of stats with a grain of salt, I think, against a team like Mercer, and what's that going to happen? What's that stat line going to look like when it's an SEC team kind of coming into town? But at the same time, I don't feel like there was anybody else kind of at that 2-guard spot that necessarily just jumped off the page in terms of going and getting starter minutes. Like, I don't know if Troy Henderson's going to go be this starting 2 here. And, it felt like Ethan Berg was kind of playing a little bit too fast and didn't really have the speed of the game down right now. So
not only that, but when he did you see that 18-foot jumper he took?
Yeah.
It was flat-footed, it barely jumped and missed it by what felt like 2.5 feet. I thought he had a little bit of a shooting stroke whenever we watched him against Duke. Some of the stuff looked okay at the top of the key. But then I watched that mid-ranger and I said, oh, gross. That's not going to work. And then, he missed it by 3 feet. And at that moment, I kind of immediately soured on him, which isn't fair. And, he's going to play and, I think be a contributor here. But I think looking at this team on paper, the biggest question was 2-guard. And I don't think I feel much better about that through these 2 first games.
No, I agree with you 100%, John. I think that's where we're going to see it's going to come down between Amari and Bishop kind of rotating in and out. So to piggyback off you guys, I don't know when we'll ultimately see a final guy absolutely nailed as the starter. But it seems like that's going to be 2 of the guys competing for that kind of spot.
I'll say that I do think Henderson has a chance now to at least get some minutes. Like you say, it's a 2-man race. I thought he looked pretty good and looked like he belonged out there on the court, in his 12 minutes. I was surprised he didn't get to play the exhibition. I don't know if there was some type of update or explanation from Barnes, but he's a prospect, Bubba, that was a late bloomer that people were really kind of saying, hey, he's under the radar. He's a guy that can play. Barnes was there watching somebody else and, just kind of recruited him on the sideline saying, hey, you look good in orange. And he said, come get me. And the next thing you know, boom, he's got an offer and he's committed. There's something there with him.
Shump put out an article a couple weeks ago or something like that, and it was just interviews with the team. And one of the questions he asked was who's the best shooter on the team? And everyone was like, well, it's obviously Jacoby Gillespie, but number 2 is Troy Henderson.
Really? Okay, yeah. I didn't see that. So, I mean, look, this team is going to need some shooting, especially if, your 2 stars continue to not really shoot well. And I'm not panicking about Gillespie. He shot over 40%. at Maryland. I think he's got a great stroke. Pause. Like I think that he will figure it out, and averages will average out. I don't think he forgot how to shoot. I think he played a really tough opponent without having his game legs in Duke, and I think last night missed his first couple and didn't want to go out there and chuck up another, double-digit night. I think he tried to do some other stuff with assists, and quite frankly, I feel like we needed our point guard to maybe be more of a point guard last night whenever you look and see 19 turnovers. So if the other guys aren't going to help handle the ball, if everyone is going to be sloppy, I don't know how much they'll ask Jacoby to carry the offense when it comes to scoring. Because, again, you talk about two-guard, the other question was, does this team have enough ball handlers? And that kind of goes hand in hand, with a two-guard. But, last night, Sam, 19 turnovers, especially, I think you had 9 in the first, 12 minutes or so. So you got better as the game went on, but it was just sloppy. Zach, what were the vibes like in Thompson Bowling Arena at Food City Center? Were people groaning? Were people mad at the ball handling? Were people upset with the scoring? Or does everyone kind of know you're coming to a first game? Things aren't necessarily going to be meshing well with the new team.
There was a lot of groaning, but also on the back end of that groaning was kind of like you said, hey, this is the first game. We'll knock the rust off. I lean more towards your camp, where I thought, after playing those 2 exhibitions, or how many ever, 2 or 3, because you look, all intents and purposes, you look pretty good against Duke in the first half. You looked a lot better in the first half against Duke than you did last night against Mercer. But a lot of turnovers early. But everybody kind of was like, first game. Everybody just kind of shrugged it off.
We also knew that this team is new. It's a new era. I think Tennessee basketball is running with that. This is a new iteration of the team. Yeah, you got some leftovers, but the heart and soul of your program, the 2 winningest players you've had in Jemai Meshack and Zakai are gone. It's going to feel different. You're bringing in Gillespie playing for his home state team. He's going to press a little bit. Nate Amen is going to press a little bit, being a freshman with huge expectations. And then everyone else is trying to find their new roles. Okpara probably is not used to playing next to a player like Jalen Carey and all that space kind of being ate up. I think he kind of struggled to get his shot going or even have any opportunities. I don't think he's supposed to be a big-time scorer for us by any means. But I think on this team coming out of this offseason, I think a lot of people expected more than 2 points until the final, minute where he shoots a 3-pointer. Not saying he was all of a sudden going to be a go-to guy, but Sam, what are you expecting for Okpara this year? I think everyone was kind of saying, give us 12, 14 points a game, something like that. And he had 2, for the vast, vast majority of his minutes. So guys are finding new roles and guys are trying to learn how to play together. And when you're trying to play, like I said, 11 guys, double-digit minutes, you're going to struggle to carve out roles. You're trying to figure that out. Hopefully you do it by Vegas, but it just looked like a big disconjointed mess last night.
And I'd personally kind of like to see Felix get more than 15 minutes. To me, he's kind of one of the guys that I want to be a mainstay in that front court, and then it's more just that 4 position that's kind of the rotating basis. So, I'd like for him to attempt more than 4 shots. I do feel like the huge emphasis on his game this summer was, hey, let's improve him offensively, and we know what he's able to do on the defensive end and being a rim protector and being a shot blocker, but that next step that he can take is kind of that scoring element. And when you're not as strong at that 2-guard position, I do think you got to get better at, scoring in your 3, 4, and 5 and stuff like that. And so I do think that Felix is going to have to at least become hovering around a double-digit average a guy type of game. And, obviously last night a little bit disappointing from that sense.
No cover. No over, nothing like that. There was no fireworks. It was a gross performance, but it was a win. I assume the answer is no in terms of last night changing any type of expectations moving forward. This team, for me, still hey, 3 seed is kind of what I wanted to see. 2 or 3 seed, kind of compete for there. Be top 4 in the SEC. make the Sweet 16 and roll the dice. That's kind of where I'm at on this team. Now, if Gillespie and Aments hit a level that I think they can get to, we'll reevaluate. But I think on paper, this is going to feel a little bit like I don't take this the wrong way, it's going to feel a little bit like a Coach Cal team. Not that Tennessee's got a whole bunch of freshmen they're trying to play, but it's just a whole bunch of new parts. And I think Rick Barnes is allowed to have a team be a little messy at the beginning and hope they get better. And I think we have a lot of confidence that they'll actually hit SEC play and be playing their best ball. But for now, I'm sticking with mine. Give me a 2 or 3 seed, be in the top 4 in the SEC, and make the Sweet 16. Sam, where are you at right now?
Yeah, I'd say I'm in lockstep there. I think that it's going to be – I don't hate the Coach Cal comparison either, just in terms of early season and kind of figuring out this team a little bit and really hitting their stride once you kind of get into conference play and stuff like that. Continues to make that, that non-conference schedule even that more important, getting chances to go play quality teams. Houston at Syracuse, a tough place to play. Illinois and Louisville, like those are going to be great measuring stick games before you get into that game in, game out grind of SEC play and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't think this is a game where I'm going to diminish my expectations or make them even higher after one. It's just a bunch of new faces kind of working in, and I think it's going to take them a couple weeks to really kind of get acclimated together.
Nate Aments, little disappointing through 2 games.
A little bit.
But true freshman, and I think Barnes I tweeted it last night in the middle of arguing with 100 people. I tweeted last night how refreshing Barnes's approach is with Nate. Like, he's kind of fully embraced the whole grandpa side of things. Like, this wasn't the Rick Barnes you would have had 7-8 years ago when he was yelling at our point guards nonstop and driving Lamonte Turner to the verge of a breakdown. Like, he was pretty tough on those guys. Jordan Bone talks about it. Those first kind of iterations of the Vols that at least were good under Barnes all kind of talked about how Barnes was a hard ass. I think it's refreshing to see Barnes kind of, you don't want to say coddle because I think that has a negative expectation. So we'll say like nourish. He's trying to nourish Nate and get him to kind of just play and have confidence. And neither performance has been great per se, but he has shown flashes. Last night, man, missing that fast break dunk, that was tough because you thought you were getting ready to see a big highlight and boom, missed it. And it just kind of perfectly summed up, his first couple games and just trying to get his sea legs. He looks like a baby deer. He'll run, he'll jump, but he's going to be a little wobbly at times. Did you see the defender dive into his legs on that backcourt? Whenever he went down, I was like, oh, no, it's all coming down, but he got back up.
It's a disaster.
Yeah, but Barnes nourishing him, not coddling. Barnes nourishing him is nice to see because I do think he can be a really, really special player here. I don't think we should judge Tennessee too harshly until him and Gillespie have had some time to kind of figure some stuff out.
I feel like in some older cases that you're talking about there with Barnes kind of being a hard ass, he's had to kind of mold his player himself and build him all the way from the ground up. And I think he knows Nate Amon is like a fine statue that you just need to kind of chisel away at in very certain spots and just, fine tune his game because he's got all that potential and you just, you got to kind of press the right buttons when you need to. And I think he's just a guy that's going to get better with every single game. And I think it's just going to take him a little bit of time. And that was the evaluation of him coming into this thing. I mean, he wasn't one of those guys that was like a day one NBA guy, like some other people in this class. They were talking about how much potential and opportunity for growth he's got down the line.
Putting you on the spot after, one game in an exhibition, you are allowed to change your mind. But as of now, what's your ideal closing 5 lineup? Like what's the 5 together that you think is going to ultimately win out here? Because when I'm looking at all these bench players and I'm looking at some of these names at starter, I don't know if I have an answer, and I don't know if my answer is going to be the same, but I'm thinking Okpara, Aments, Gillespie. I think those 3 are going to be in everybody's.
Yeah.
I think JP Estrella is going to be my 4.
That's what I was going to say.
And my 5th and 2 guard. I don't really have an answer for that just yet. I don't want to overreact to one game. I don't think it's going to be Henderson, but like I don't know if I want it to be Boswell. So like, who would you give in that 5th spot?
I think eventually it's going to be Ethan Berg. I think he's just it needs to be a guy that kind of adjusts to the college game a little bit. I thought you saw his ability to kind of run the offense and be a distributor, and I think that's going to give you a little bit of versatility in terms of you might be able to kind of put Gillespie at the 2 at times with Berg out there, and he could kind of run point.
So your answer for your 2 guard problem is actually just to play another point guard and let Gillespie kind of be more off the ball. I think that's a pretty good take. I think maybe that would be at its best. Let's just work on that like 18-foot weird set jump shot because that was really, really gross. Bubba, send us a break. We'll come back. We'll get to some listener comments. We'll talk a little bit more about Tennessee. Maybe not so much basketball, Tennessee basketball, as much as it is just what we saw from the rest of the SEC in basketball. Florida, Tyler defense. Not going to be a long undefeated defense as that ended last night. Auburn, Stephen Pearl. Oof, that was almost a disastrous start to his tenure. We'll dive into it. It's Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio.
Can't get enough Fan Run Radio? Download the free Fan Run app and take the best Tennessee sports conversations with you wherever you go.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Hey, Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 865-544-8220. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at menspronknoxville.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor, but we've helped so many guys in here just like you. Even if pills have failed, our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, performance, Peyronie's, size and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic performance and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 865-544-8220 or book in 30 seconds or less at menspronknoxville.com. Men's Pro Knoxville, making it happen.
Are you tired of spending hours on laundry and ironing? Let Crown Cleaners handle your dry cleaning so you can handle your business. Our expert team can take care of your clothes, removing stains and wrinkles like they were never there. Whether it's your best suit or everyday attire, we handle it all at Crown Cleaners. Say goodbye to laundry stress and hello to extra free time. Crown Cleaners, Big Orange Country's imperial dry cleaning service since the 1960s. Online at crowncleaners.com.
Much of that last night, Sam?
I did watch that game. Good game there. That freshman for Arizona, Koa Pete, is he's a problem.
Was he a guy on everyone's radar coming into the season?
Yeah, he was. I think he was a top 10 recruit.
Okay. The name had sounded familiar, so I thought so. But yeah, I see that he scored 30 points. I didn't watch any of Florida, Arizona, so I need you to be my eyes here. But Any reason to think Florida is going to slip a bit, or is it more just about Pete's looking so good and Arizona being a top 15 team that wanted to make a statement, coming out and making a statement?
You know, it's obviously you don't want to make a snap judgment on game one type of thing, but I do think guard play maybe is going to take a little bit of time for Florida. They got some talented transfers in there with Xavier Lee coming over from Princeton and then Boogie Flan coming over from Arkansas. But obviously, like Walter Clayton and Elijah Martin and all those guys just being so good for them last year, struggled a little bit. Xavier Lee went 5 for 17 from the field. Flan went 3 of 9. Neither of them shot the three all that great. So I think that's kind of the question for Florida going into the season, because they return everybody in that front court, but it's really just kind of what are you going to get out of their guard play?
Well, that's been weird. I got no issues seeing them be ranked as high as they are. I got no issue with them being picked, defending champs, a lot of the team back. I get that, but I do feel like the Walter Clayton of it all like should be talked about more. Like that's not just losing one player. It's not. It's kind of like Penn State to me in football. Not that Penn State won a national championship by any means, but like people had them ranked still like in the top 2 or 3 and talked about how talented the roster was. And you're like, okay, yeah, they got a lot of players back, but hey, anybody going to point out they lost their best offensive player and lost their best defensive player? You could tell me the starting quarterback's coming back. You could tell me some linemen are coming back, some receivers are coming back, but like if you're losing the best player on both sides of the ball, I think at some point that matters more than what you bring back. Not saying Florida's still not going to be really good. Not saying Florida still isn't going to be top 4 in the SEC, but like losing those guards, especially Clayton, that's like losing Abdul Carter and Tyler Warren. Like you need those guys, or insert quarterback that's gone off of a team that a team falls, apart after they lose, because he was everything for them.
Yeah.
And they don't win a championship. I mean, they don't beat UConn. They go out in the second round if he doesn't, come through and have some big time plays for them down the stretch of that UConn game. So he was awesome. And life without him, I think, is going to be tough. We talked about moving on from Zakad and Jamah and finding our way, like moving on from him for Florida, going to be equally as tough.
Yeah, I just did the rough math, and they're replacing about 55 points a game in terms of guard play production when you've got Clayton, Martin, Richard, and Aberdeen all leaving that program. So
that's not even taking assists into account either, right?
Sure. No, 100%.
So yeah, I mean, if you're looking at just points manufactured, I'd imagine that gets up into the 70 range whenever you add in assists. And you're right. They brought in new players like Boogie Flan's there. They brought in some transfers. Like they'll ultimately, I'd assume, be fine. But, and those counting numbers might equal out a bit in terms of what they lost versus what they brought in, but it's still new. And it's still not going to be as much of a killer as Clayton was.
I'll be interested to see whenever they finally get that A.J. Brown, who transferred from Ohio, start playing a little bit, because he was one of the top players for Ohio in that conference last season. But his brother got more time than him last night.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, Bubba. I
think Tennessee was interested in him, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I wanted them to be at least.
It's one of those things we talk about it in every sport. So like when you're relying on the transfer portal, sometimes it's going to mesh really good together. And like, Florida won a title. And then sometimes you're going to be like, Eric Musselman and go from Elite Eight to basically getting fired immediately because you miss out on it so badly a couple years in a row. Auburn survives. That would have been a really, really, really brutal start to the Stephen Pearl era. Still ain't great having to win in overtime, fouling a three-point shooter at midcourt to give them 3 free throws to tie the game, but they did hold on.
That was absurd.
They did win in overtime. What'd you see from Auburn?
Defensive specialist Stephen Pearl, giving up 90 points to Bethune-Cookman to start the year off. Honestly, watching this game, like Bethune-Cookman had some players, man. Like they were knocking down threes, pretty efficient night shooting the ball for them.
Really, I mean, like they shot, looking at the box score, 12 of 22 from 3. So I don't know how many were wide open, how many felt like the Troy Henderson bank 3 in or whatever. So
The main problem was they just had no answer for Keyshawn Hall. It was just get the ball in his hands, and he was just getting fouled immediately every single time.
Yeah, 28 points for him, 18 free throws.
He's going to be their best player this year for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen Elijah Freeman start showing up. Someone had him as a top 10 pick in the NBA draft next year. That's the transfer that Tennessee was wanting. It chose Auburn. I know people were kind of high on him, but to see him kind of pop up in the top 10, then of course Pettiford's there. It's to me a big statement saying Keyshawn will be their best player, but 28 points in their opener.
Yeah, I mean he's kind of that low post scorer, got a lot of athleticism, came over from UCF. He was like a 20-point a game guy over at UCF last year, so I think he's going to kind of be their X factor this year, and Freeman I think will kind of be that. Well, honestly, I mean you forget about Tahad Pettiford, so I think Freeman's kind of that number 2, number 3 type of guy, and I think a lot of people, maybe Tennessee fans included, were kind of wondering about that transition from D2 to the SEC level and stuff like that.
Anything else stand out for you when looking kind of around the SEC or college basketball as a whole? Obviously, it's early, but anything change, any expectations? Arkansas dominates Southern, goes out and scores 109 points. Not surprising, but, Arkansas getting a lot of love. They come out and, Coach Cal in the past would maybe struggle a little bit. That they just come out from the jump, dominate, score 109 points. We'll see when they step up in competition. Alabama, a 29-point victory. Not surprising when looking at the opponent, but again, just two teams that looked better than Tennessee did.
You're going to call me a sicko for this one, but as I was watching Hawaii Pacific beat Boise State last night, that was Boise State, John, is like a top 55 KenPom team, and they just lost to a D2 team last night.
Now, does that count? That counts on the resume, right?
Apparently, it doesn't count towards your net ranking.
Okay.
Which is crazy to me how that doesn't count towards your net ranking. But I think that Hawaii Pacific is such a bad school that those type of schools don't even count in that equation.
I thought there was something weird there where they might find a loophole. So
surely you have to. I mean, that's like a quad 5 loss, and we don't even have quad 5.
Yeah, that's a crippler. That's a crippler for Boise State, and yeah, that is really gross.
And there was a hysterical moment.
Was that on YouTube with Field of 68's opener? Or
it was on the Mountain West Network.
The Mountain West has their own network?
They do, yeah.
Where do you find that at?
We just had to download the Mountain West app, I guess, on our TV.
That's convenient.
Yeah.
I didn't know if YouTube TV was like, hey, guys, we've lost ESPN.
But we've got you the Mountain West Network.
You cannot watch Cowboys Cardinals, but here you go. Here you go. Here is the Mountain West Conference. Can we call it even?
There was also a hysterical injury at the very end of that game where this Hawaii Pacific player was cramping, and they basically just grabbed him by his 2 arms and one of his legs, and they just dragged him off the court like he was like a dead deer, basically.
Hey, man, we only rented the gym for 2 hours and 30 minutes. We don't have the money if we go over. So we got to get you off here now. We got to have everybody cleaned up and cleaned out before the next game gets in. The Hawaii Little League women's team they got practice scheduled. We got to get off the courts. Watching Cardinals Cowboys on the actual ESPN app was kind of hell. I hate the app. It felt like it was over 2 plays behind.
Wait, did you go and buy the new subscription?
No.
Okay.
I haven't cut the cord, so I can still access my ESPN channels through Spectrum.
Same.
So I was able just to pull up the app. I couldn't do it on YouTube TV because I have access to a YouTube TV as well. And that's typically what I do because it's so much better and it's much more closer to live speed. But I had to pull out the ESPN app for Tennessee basketball and Cowboys Cardinals, and it was so bad and so slow. And I just hate the way it feels. I know there are people out there much more affected by this YouTube TV, ESPN beef than I am, since I do still have cable and can still watch the games, but it really was a first world tech problem last night, being 3 plays behind when trying to look at live bets and stuff on the gambling apps. You ever watch sports just there on like FanDuel, for example?
Like you just watch the little.
No, they put the games on. Like some of them,
really?
especially like the NFL. Like if you, I don't think everyone gets it. I think you only get it if you actually place a wager on the game. But it's like a play ahead of the actual TV. They get to play ahead of cable.
How has the NFL negotiated that?
Money? I guess just like the gambling sites are so, I guess, FanDuel's such a partner to them, they let them do it. But you can watch that and other games. It's basketball too sometimes, like in terms of just if you have a bet on it, they unlock the stream for you.
Is that just part of their 10-minute free preview?
No. Well, no, this isn't the FanDuel network. This is the FanDuel, actually, like the sports betting app.
That's
like
huge.
It's there live in the app. And I mean, it's really dangerous if you're somebody that likes live betting because, as you're watching it, it's popping up the lines and it changes, and you can select it and immediately add it to your slip. So it is really dangerous, and they want you in there, and it makes sense for them to have you in there versus you having to come from YouTube TV and get there. And if you're already in the app watching it, you can lose your money live betting much easier. But I was watching some of that on Sunday just because of how much of a racket everything else was. It's true degeneracy. If you watch the games inside the FanDuel app, that's a sign of needing to call the number. Yeah. But a couple more days of watching on ESPN and I'll be there.
It's really nice for hockey live betting. I will say that.
Okay. Yeah, because hockey, that stuff can change so quickly, right? Because it's just so free flowing and not a lot of stoppages.
Yeah, especially for shots or whatever. Yeah, it's awesome. It's great.
Yeah, football and basketball, there's some downtime, between free throws and commercial timeouts and even, the 40 seconds in between football plays. Hockey ain't got that as much, so that makes sense. Hour 1 of the books. We'll kick off hour 2 with some headlines. We got Brooks Austin coming on and talk some ball. Stick with us. Let's talk sports on Fan Run Radio.
The flagship station for Tennessee football.
2 kicking off here in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. Let's hit some Hour 2 headlines. Give me some news. Let's talk something besides SEC basketball.
Well, we got some more basketball, John, because Ja Morant is unsure if he can recapture his joy for basketball. He said we will see if he can regain his passion for the game after he was suspended one game for conduct detrimental to the team. He comes back, scores 18 points and 10 assists, but he shoots 5 of 16 from the field, commits 5 turnovers. Grizzlies lose that game 114-106. They're now 3-5 on the season, and Ja Morant seemingly not already having the best relationship with this new coaching staff over there.
After getting the last coaching staff fired, now look, I do think it was a little bit of a leading question by some of the Memphis media, but they asked him if he has his joy at the moment, and he says no. Which on one hand, of course, he's not going to be happy. His name's now in controversy again, like it always is. They've lost 3 in a row. The team doesn't seem to be very good. He's not playing very good, obviously not meshing with his coach. So I don't think there's a right answer to that question. If you say you still have your joy, then people will be like, oh, he doesn't care. So like, I thought it was a stupid question. But all I could think about was Shawn Michaels losing his smile when he took his ball and went home, Bubba, in 97. He didn't want to drop the belt in a match. So he's like, I've lost my smile. I'm going home for a bit.
Is it because he keeps getting negative reinforcement for his celebrations?
I don't even think it's a celebration. Like this isn't a controversy about his celebration. I think everyone loves the grenade celebration. Like Ronald Acuna was doing that after hitting home runs, and like it was kind of hurt as a Hawks fan because Ronald used to be all about Trae Young, and then he switched his allegiance and was rocking with Ja Morant. So like it hurt, it stung me a little bit. But no, the grenade thing is cool. People like that celebration. This comes from him pouting on the court, and like it was a really bad look over the weekend. So bad that even William Patterson had to be like, oh man, this was a bad look for Ja. Whenever he is upset, he gets taken out of a game and not put back in. Then when he gets on the court, he is just moping and jogging around and not playing defense. And then, is asked about it afterwards, and he's just like, well, ask the coaches. Ask the coaches. Ask the coaches. What could I do to help? I don't know. Maybe play. Maybe they could put me in. Ask the coaches. So, like, he's bringing it on himself. Now, in a different way than he was with the gun stuff. Now, I do think it's all connected in the sense that he's probably got some fatigue of always feeling like he is, involved in some type of controversy. But just like the gun stuff, I do think he's kind of brought this on himself, and I do think he wears his emotions on his sleeve. I'm at the point now, though, Sam, where I wonder how long the Grizzlies deal with it. And I wonder how long it is before Ja Morant just officially asks his way out. Because it's gotten off to such a bad start with this new coach. Like, it doesn't feel tenable that you can have him coach him for the whole year. Like, it's just November. We're just 2 weeks into the season, and this is already going to be a game in, game out issue. Now, maybe the new coach says, hey, I'll do a little bit better on my rotations. Ja, you can play 38 minutes a night if your body can handle it, buddy. Go ahead and go out there and do it. But, like, if you're the Grizzlies, do you immediately undercut your new coach? Or do you trade your superstar who admittedly will be at a low when it comes to his value right now?
I was going to say, what could you get for him?
You wouldn't be trading him from a position of strength by any means because the vultures are circling. You already had the report come out. I want to say it was from Shams saying that teams are now calling the Grizzlies about Morant. So, like, the vultures are circling. But I don't know what you would get for him. You're definitely not getting a player as good as Ja Morant. Although there are some advanced numbers out there that kind of tell a story about Morant and his lack of attacking the rim. And that's what made him so special early in his career. Like his rim attempts and his rim finish is kind of like cratered. So at that point, you're just kind of left with a shaky jump shooter and a bad defender. But when he turns it up even this year, he's been really, really good. Like, he's had some great games, some great moments, hit a game winner. You'd have somebody like Toronto interested in him, but it would just be for like draft picks. And
I just looked up Ja Morant trade spots. Number 1, Atlanta Hawks.
Just trading him
For Trae Young.
and Trey. That'd be a mental hurdle I'd have to figure out there. I don't know about the gymnastics on that.
The Suns, the Heat.
Although, yeah, I mean, like the Heat are always going to be linked. And if you're the Heat, this is the type of player you buy into and try to like get him into your culture and handle things the right way. Like he's on the Jimmy Butler path in terms of being salty and sulky and kind of just disconnected. Like he's doing the Jimmy Butler playbook right now. So getting him to Miami, could be a good place. Toronto's got a lot of draft assets and a nice young core. Who else did you say?
The Kings.
Yeah, that feels like DeMarcus Cousins 2.0. Like if I'm taking a player that might be a little bit explosive, I don't think I'm putting him in an organization like Sacramento. That feels like, you've got gasoline all over the house and you want to start playing with matches. Seems like a bad idea. Anything else? Anyone else?
That was bad.
Was it just Trey for Josh straight up?
Yeah, and like some money, I guess, added on to it.
It would be
$6.5 million. It said
it would be an interesting trade, just if the Hawks had made the decision that they weren't going to like re-sign and extend Trae Young to get something, and Ja would fit in with the culture down in Atlanta. People would like him, they would embrace him, but I see that as unlikely as happening. I think it'd be Miami or Toronto.
Speaking of the Hawks, Lester Jones, former senior vice president of finance for the Hawks, has been charged with embezzling $3.8 million over his time with the Hawks.
Oh, nice. So he's got like a Jacksonville Jaguars situation where that guy was stealing all that money from him to gamble. Well, did it say what this guy was doing with the money?
Asked the franchise to pay off a $230,000 American Express bill for a stay at the Wynn Hotel in Las Vegas. They figured out that he wasn't even at the hotel. And then
what do you mean he wasn't at the hotel? Did he just go there and like get a marker to get like some cash to gamble with the company card? Like, what do you mean he wasn't there? Where'd the bill come from?
So basically this guy just controlled the team's American Express account. And so he was just able to authorize all these charges himself, open up corporate cards for himself, charge just crazy amounts of money. Said he used that to spend money on trips to the Bahamas, Hawaii, Thailand, Switzerland, other countries, paid for a Porsche, bought tickets to concerts and other events.
Nice.
Now facing a count of federal wire fraud.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah. Was also in a romantic relationship with another team employee and said he used some of that money to buy her expensive gifts.
She deserves the best.
Yep. Both no longer working for the Hawks.
I hadn't seen that story yet. You're breaking that news to me. That's a shout out to him. I guess we'll see how long he goes to prison and whether or not it's worth it. But shout out to him. He was living it up for a little bit.
Jake Paul rips into Gervonta Davis after their November 14th exhibition fight was canceled. Jake Paul had a long tweet for him, said he is an actual walking human piece of garbage. Nice. Working with him is an absolute nightmare. The unprofessionalism, the bizarre requests, showing up hours late to shoots, numerous arrests and related accusations and lawsuits. If you support this man, you support the most vile sin a man can commit.
All right.
I was kind of looking forward to that one.
What were you? Okay, I was going to say, because I think I'm over the Paul fights. Like,
I kind of just wanted to see an actual boxer like Gervonta Davis, who's like a world champion, just want to try to tee off on him. But I honestly probably should have known better to know that this was never going to happen.
All he has to do is come out and say that the Paul was trying to get him to like throw the fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he's got to say.
Yeah.
It's like, he's trying to put it in the contract like he did with Tyson, like he did with Floyd, that it wasn't a real fight. I didn't want to fight him. That's all he'd have to say to immediately shut him up. I didn't realize this had happened. So when was the fight supposed to take place?
The 14th, 10 more days from now.
Oh, and he just now canceled? When did he cancel?
Yesterday.
Oh, okay. I missed all of this.
Yeah. So
I was arguing with Josh Pate online, and I missed
2 weeks
news.
notice, basically, he gave him. Victor Conti dies at 75. He was the architect and founder of Balco. He was basically at the center of the steroid scandal. So He is known to be to have provided undetectable performance-enhancing drugs to athletes like Barry Bonds, Jason Giambi, as well as Olympic track champion Marion Jones. Died at 75, but clearly he's got a large part of sports history kind of with him as well.
That is something that I don't think the younger guys can appreciate. Zach, I'm sure you remember it a bit, but you're like, I think, 4 years younger than me, but like in like 2002, 2003, 2004, somewhere around there, that's all that would be on ESPN. Like Outside the Lines would be like chasing this guy out of like courtrooms and stuff, like trying to like figure it out, trying to track down Alex Rodriguez's friends and cousins. Like it was such a big deal. Baseball was much more popular 20 years ago. But like the steroid stuff, it just dominated the airwaves. It just dominated the talking points. And then, Clemens, and then circle in Pete Rose and Barry Bonds, just all of it. The home run chase of the 90s. Just Balco. I haven't thought of Balco in maybe 10 years, but blast from the past hearing this guy's name.
It saved baseball 100%. Like the Great Race of 98 was just unreal.
Fixing the lockout problems, like the fans that they had lost in the mid 90s to locking out a season in the middle. Like that to me is crazy. Like just not finishing a season. And I imagine you'll never see a sports league actually make that mistake again.
Yeah, we're headed for it again, Major League Baseball.
I don't think they'll start the season though.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying you won't miss seasons. I mean, like you saw the NBA give up 20 games, a couple, years ago. You might see it with the WNBA coming up. I know, nobody cares about the WNBA, but like my point is, I don't think you'll see us get into a season that all of a sudden be like, you know what? Let's just stop it. No more. The damn poor Montreal Expos never recovered. I mean, they were set to maybe win a championship that year, and then it's like, actually, we're going to take our ball and go home, and then you're not going to have Pedro anymore when we come back.
So is this guy going to go into the Hall of Fame, and should he?
He's not going to go into the Hall of Fame, Bubba, because they don't let any of the steroids people in except Big Papi, David Ortiz, for some reason.
Be careful.
He gets a pass for some reason. Guy went from hitting like 15 home runs to 40, and I was like, nothing to see here. He just fixed his swing.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here. He's fine.
He was unhappy in Minnesota, John. Come on.
Yeah, it was all just unhappy. Yeah, nothing to see here. Everything's fine, man. Don't worry about it. But like he is a big part of the baseball story. The Hall of Fame isn't treated like a museum, but I always feel like it should be. Like you should let Barry Bonds in and just say, hey, a lot of people thought he did steroids, but he was really, really good even before the steroids and was the best player during the steroid era. I think that's all you'd have to put on the plaque and everything would be fine. I think the Balco thing would be kind of similar. Hey, this guy's a big part of baseball story and a lot of the bad stuff, but hey, you guys love Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire's home run chase, right?
They have a little presented by DraftKings.
Yeah, throw that in there. Pete Rose's wing. Hey, gamble. Use the promo code ROSE. We'll talk with Brooks Austin coming up next. We'll talk some Tennessee football. We'll talk some Josh Heupel. Stick with us. Let's talk sports on Fan Run Radio.
Streaming worldwide at fanrunradio.com and on the free Fan Run app. This is Big Orange Country's sports talk radio superstation, Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw Premium Vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
Are you thinking of buying a home but don't know where to start? Well, call VFL Josh Travis, your local mortgage expert with Foundation Mortgage, based right here in Knoxville. Whether it's your first home or your forever home, he'll keep the process simple every step of the way. To get started, visit mortgagebrokerjosh.com or call 423-312-9777 today. Foundation Mortgage Company, LLC is an equal opportunity housing company. NMLS number 1387311.
Citizens National Bank.
Kick off this football season with a CNB Plus Perks checking account. Move downfield with free online and mobile banking. And cross the goal line with extended evening hours and Saturday banking. Banking at CNB has its perks. Find out more at cnbtn.com.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Bo Kregner from the Kregner Group at Realty Executives, and I know there's a lot of choices here in East Tennessee when it comes to choosing a realtor. Here's why the Kregner Group is different. At the Kregner Group, our motto is walking by faith, serving others. It's how I live my life. It's how I run my business. Here at the Kregner Group, we're committed to doing real estate the right way. Faith, honesty, integrity. The Kregner Group. Call me anytime at 865-742-1035 or visit my website at boknowshouses.com.
Got a flat tire? Strange noise under the hood? Don't stress. Roll into Matlock Tire and Auto Service. From oil changes and brake repairs to brand new tires, Matlock's certified techs do it all. Fast, friendly, and fair priced, Matlock is the home of the price match guarantee. Bring in any competitor's ad and Matlock will match the exact same tire for the exact same price. Matlock Tire and Auto Service. 5 locations in East Tennessee. Visit matlocktireservice.com to find the location nearest you and schedule your appointment.
The faster we're falling, we're stopping, stalling, we're running in circles again. Just as things were looking up, you said it wasn't good enough, but still we're trying one more time.
It wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough on Saturday. Let's talk about it with our boy Brooks Austin, the Film Guy Network over on YouTube, making his weekly appearance with us for all the freaks out there listening and watching along. Brooks, I know I always ask you about the biggest thing in the SEC, but I'm not doing that this week. This time I'm just asking you what the hell went wrong for Tennessee against Oklahoma?
Oh, God. I feel like y'all have lost several football games this year because you've just absolutely been terrible in the red zone. Now, I know there's a lot more in that football game that went wrong. A lot of defensive explosives that were created, a lot of, turnovers, a lot of, bad mistakes and whatnot. But to me, man, I feel like, and this has been the system, this has been Heupel, but it gets worrisome down there inside the 20. I think in 2-minute drill, which is weird because like the offense is supposed to go fast. So why are y'all not? I don't trust y'all in 2-minute drills. I don't trust Josh Heupel in 2-minute drills since Arkansas of last year. I've been just like, oh, they're not going to be good. And I'm not going to be able to trust them in these situations, or at least I'm going to be nervous for them in these situations. And then in that plus 35 territory and in that 35-yard line and in, y'all get really, really, if you can't leak the tight end off play action and have Kitzelman run into the end zone, I worry. I worry about what's going to happen in those areas of the field. And I think it cost you against Alabama, certainly. And I thought it cost you in that football game.
Yeah, it's very strange how fast Tennessee likes going in normal situations in the game. And then you get the ball with 4.5 minutes left, and it was like the most deliberate drive of the season. The 2-minute drill hasn't been very good. The red zone hasn't been very good. What's been the biggest problem that you see jump out when it comes to Josh Heupel's red zone offense? Is it a quarterback trust issue? Because it felt that way sometimes with Joe Milton, and it felt that way sometimes with Nico. Is it a trust issue with the quarterback? Is it just not being able to confuse or use the whole field to stretch the field whenever you have the threat of the 60-yard pass? What jumps out to you when you see it?
Well, that's a good point, right? Like you're an explosive, deep passing attack. And that area of the field is no longer once we get inside the 30, right? Like once we get inside the 35-yard line, and especially in the red zone, there is no 50-yard chunk play left for us to worry the defense with, right? I I've always heard football coaches say good red zone football teams can run the football into the end zone. The best red zone football teams that I watch nowadays in high school or in college have a mobile threat at the position. They're adding him into the count. We get down there and boxes get a lot heavier because we have that end zone line to work with as a defender. We can use that as the 12th man, essentially. So you see a lot of man-to-man coverage, you see a lot of loaded boxes, and you see a lot of commitment to stopping the run. And the only way to balance that normally is with a rushing quarterback. It's why I think Arkansas might be the hardest team in the country to stop inside the 5. Everybody else is pretty gettable, right? I mean, I feel like everyone is struggling right now inside the 5 to run the ball into the box because run defenses have gotten way more complicated and way more complex. But I think there are other consistent issues about this football coach. And before I say that, right, this is the best football coach Tennessee has had in 20 years. Okay. Y'all were a 7-win program from 2000 until Josh Heupel got there. You're a 9 to 10 win program off rip every single year now with this guy. There's been drastic improvements. He is the guy. There is no doubts in my mind. Now, that being said, you're consistently bad in 2-minute. You're consistently bad in penalties. You're consistently bad in defensive explosive metrics. You're a consistently bad tackling football team. You're consistently bad in 2-minute. You're consistently bad in a lot of areas, and you're still a 10-win football program. I would look at that and say, well, shit, he's still got a lot to clean up, and then look where we could be, instead of looking at that as like, oh my God, look at all these things we've got to clean up. No, look at how good we still are and look how far we've got to go. That's the way I would look at it.
It's funny that you have to go out there and give all the good stuff at the beginning before you offer any criticism, because I'm right there with you in terms of having to deal with that. It's like, it's the worst part it's the worst place to be in this business, in a fan base like Tennessee. When things start going poorly, you have the extremists that view any type of criticism as you wanting to fire the coach. Like, I think everything you said about Josh Heupel and his program is completely fair. I think it's completely fair to say that he did not coach a good game against Oklahoma. And quite frankly, Brooks, I don't know how you feel. I don't think he's coached a great season. I think he's been pretty average at best when you look at some of the decisions against Mississippi State and against Alabama and being conservative against Georgia. All of that is okay. It's fixable, or at least it's something that is not detrimental enough that it ruins the program. But we're at a point right now where any type of criticism about Heupel has led to Kirk Herbstreit screaming at Tennessee fans about not wanting to fire him. No serious person wants to fire Josh Heupel. Like, we all know that, right? Like, no serious person is wanting to fire Josh Heupel. But Brooks and I talking about some of the stuff we need to clean up and some of the stuff that needs to be better is also completely fair as well.
I mean, it's the consistent issues that I would point to, right? Because we are 4 years into this, right? So there are things, and I think they've reared their head and cost you football games, right? Like the being bad in the red zone, I feel like cost you against Alabama and Oklahoma. Being bad in 2 minutes, it started in that Arkansas game last year, but I feel like there's been bad 2-minute situation drills like every single year for this football team. So there are certain things that, yeah, 100% you got to get cleaned up. The penalties, man, I just think that's just going to sound terrible, but I think you got to kind of live with that. Like, you take more snaps than everybody else, so you're exposing yourself to more opportunities for mistakes. But every time you get a hold, you might create a 75-yard explosive off the fact that you're playing with pace. So I don't think there's not too much you need to change.
I mean, the penalties weren't even a problem against Oklahoma. I think Tennessee ended up only with 3. It was,
but John, they've been outside the top 95 since he's been there.
Oh no, 100%. I was just saying against Oklahoma, it wasn't an issue. They actually finally played a clean game, but it was everything else kind of falling apart. Did you feel personally responsible for jinxing David Sanders? Because you did that great breakdown of him, highlighting how much of a dog he was, and then he gives up the game-changing play.
How about that kid coming back from that ankle injury? I thought that kid's ankle was broke when I watched it on television, and I look up midway through the fourth quarter, and he's still out there playing around. Like, dude, that's the nature of this business. Like, I haven't looked at the full film on that football game, but I would imagine David Sanders probably took 70 some odd snaps Saturday night, and he probably won 67 of them, probably won 65 of them. but that one rep he lost caused a fumble, and that's all people will remember about that football game. And that sucks for offensive linemen. That's the way that it is. That's the nature of the business. I thought Will Campbell said that the best last year, right? He's like, if I give up a sack a game, I'm going to be an Amazon like box truck driver. If the other guy has a sack a game, he's 100 millionaire. Like that's the difference between playing offensive line and defensive line. You will remember the one bad snap from David Sanders, not the 67 good ones.
I know there's been a lot of talk about giving up play calling duties for Heupel with those new NFL type looks implemented into the offense this season. If he does choose to give that up, do you think he would hand those reins off to someone kind of familiar with his traditional wide splits, or do you think he kind of continues to dive further into kind of a traditional pro style offense?
No, if he hires anybody, it's from his tree. I think he believes in what he does, and I would too. That guy has scored 40 plus points, and I think 52% of the games in which he has coached. Think about that. Wrap your head around that. Josh Heupel has scored 40 plus points in more than half of the games in which he has started and coached as a football coach. That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Georgia will go like 2 games a year and score that. I mean, it's an insane amount of offensive production there. So, but I don't think he's going to change too much of it. I do believe, and I solely 100% will stand by this. I don't think you can win a national championship calling your own plays. I just don't think it's the case. I watched Ryan Day epitomize this. I watched Nick Saban for 25 years not choose to call his own plays. I've watched Steve Sarkisian, in my opinion, become a worse offensive coordinator since he has become a head coach and remained calling his own plays. I think Lane Kiffin has shortcomings every single year because he calls his own plays. I just don't think it's something that you should do. And so, yeah, I think eventually he's going to have to get somebody in there. But the best guy to ever do it with him's down there at South Florida, winning 8 games, 9 games, about to be a playoff team. So what do? You know, that's the nature of coaching as well. You do well and people get stolen off your staff.
Why do you think coaches are so insistent that they continue to call their own plays? I mean, I know they're control freaks. I know they want to be in control of their own destiny, but like, I feel like making your life easier should also be priority one. Like, you know, having someone else calling the plays and you maybe overseeing that just seems like such a simple solution.
You know what, John? Like, we could have coaches that are too involved, like Heupel and like Sarkisian and like Kiffin, and to an extent like Kirby Smart, because I guarantee you there's not a defensive play call that goes to the headset that Kirby Smart's not the last, moment of filtration for. I would almost rather these coaches, and I criticize them about it. Maybe they should step away from it and allow somebody to make it their sole job, because it is 100% a full consumption job. Game planning and game calling is a 160-hour-a-week job, it feels like, I would imagine. But I would much rather my football coach be doing too much than what Brian Kelly and Hugh Freeze just got fired for. The idea that those sorry sacks of you-know-what were taking $7 million paychecks and playing golf twice a week, I would do something crazy if I were those football fans. If I were an Auburn booster that was on the hook for that $15 million buyout, if I were an LSU booster that was on the hook for a $57 million buyout, and I found out that my CEO, my head football coach, was golfing on Fridays and Sundays, I don't know what I'd do. I think I'd poison them trees, Paul. That's what I think I'd do. I think I would go that crazy.
I mean, you run a business, you get it. So, and we say it here and finding people to work with. You would rather ask people to slow down and take a little bit off the plate versus like actually
stop. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Versus
But
having
most
to
of these
motivate
people
somebody
nowadays,
to work.
most of these people nowadays, I feel like I gotta ride like a stallion just to get them to sprint. And that's not what needs to be done.
Am I being too close to it? Am I being too much of a Tennessee homer for coming out of that Oklahoma game feeling like Tennessee blew it and it was a bad Tennessee loss, more so than giving Oklahoma credit for making the stops and forcing the turnovers and winning that game?
Look, you can't. I like collapse. We debated this last night as a show. Like, do you label that a collapse or do you label that a we gave the game away? I label that as y'all gave the game away, right? Like, you can never feel good about yourself when you go into half, you've outgained them 280 yards to 90, and you're down 16-10 on the scoreboard. That is giving them the football game, right? And you did it via turnovers. The fumble, two interceptions, all in the first half, and a missed PAT or missed field goal. You will not win those football games in this conference against ranked opponents if you do that. So, yeah, I thought you gave them the football game. You did not lose it, if that makes sense. Now, in the second half, they did everything they can to make sure that they were the better football team. They finished better than you, but how could they not? They felt like they won the damn lottery. They felt like they survived the blow in the first half and were up a score. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, yeah, you gave them that football game, I felt like.
And that's what I think. I mean, I don't know how you feel about, expectations and being upset about stuff, but like, regardless of how Tennessee fans felt in the offseason, if you had 8-4 or whatever, you could still get to the week and have that game in front of you and come out pretty disgusted with what happened against Oklahoma. And you can be disgusted without wanting to burn stuff down, but like Tennessee gave that game away.
Look, the expectations of this football team have changed in the midst of the season. There's no doubt about that. But the reasons that they lose have been the same for 3 years.
Yep.
I think that's what you're frustrated with.
Yep.
And that's accurate. You're not frustrated because they're not 12-0. You're frustrated because they lost to Oklahoma the same way they've lost some of these other football games. And that's all you want to point out, and that's all you want to talk about, and that's fine. You have the right to do that as a fan. And he has the right as a football coach, or should have the responsibility to look at that and say, you know what? They are correct. I do need to fix some of this stuff. Some of this stuff is a recurring theme, and there are recurring problems, and it needs to get addressed.
Are these last 3 games a good measuring stick for the growth of the program under Heupel, kind of knowing that your playoff hopes are dead, but there's so much youth on this roster, and you're playing 50% of guys on your team basically that are freshmen or sophomores? How much do these last couple of games of the season really kind of set the tone for, the next couple of years under Heupel and what he's trying to build ultimately?
Is it Vandy, Florida, and a tomato can?
Yeah.
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I think what I can't stop wrapping my brain around is the idea that one day, very, very soon, Mike Matthews, Braylon Staley, and my man Tristan Keys are probably going to be on the same field at the same time. And that terrifies me as anybody who's ever studied defensive football, because I don't know what the hell I'd do with that. Yeah, have fun the rest of the 3 games. That's all good. Your culture, where your football program stands, I learned far more about that this offseason, right? I learned far more about what this football coach is in terms of what he's going to build in terms of a team when you let the 5-star quarterback walk because he's being a lunatic and he's out here, doing the hostile negotiation tactics left and right. Y'all didn't just slap on the wrist Boo Carter. Y'all smacked Boo Carter right back into line. Now, has he done any terms of development? Has he gotten any better? I thought he was better last year as a freshman than he is right now. That's a problem. But all that being said, like, there are so many good things about Tennessee's football program that an outside observer that I notice. Like, for example, I covered Joshua Josephs in high school. I covered Jeremiah Thielander in high school. Those 2 football players, never did I ever think they were going to be what they currently are. Like, I never thought Jeremiah Thielander was going to be playable, let alone winnable. I feel like he could be better for Tennessee. Y'all could have better linebackers. But the idea that guy is going to play basically 3 years worth of starts to me says a whole hell of a lot about your development in terms of your strength and conditioning program and what y'all are doing with humans, right? What y'all are doing with talents. Joshua Josephs is the same exact example of that to me. Ty Redmond is that to me. Y'all are doing things that you have to do to compete at the top end level, because you have to come down into the state of Georgia because the Tennessee recruiting base and the high school talent up there is not all that great. So you have to dip into Georgia. And to be honest, you have to take players that maybe the Bulldogs don't want, right? You have to take a guy like Ty Redmond that doesn't have an offer. You have to take a guy like Jeremiah Thielander that didn't have an offer. You have to take guys like Joshua Josephs that don't have an offer, and they might be your best football players. And that's how development has to work out there. I also got into this debate with Tennessee fans, and I know I'm going long. Y'all get real distorted with, oh, we spent a lot of money on our roster. Oh, we spent money like Alabama. Yeah, you might have spent money like Alabama, but you don't get results like Alabama with regards to talent acquisition. So talent spending and talent roster are not equivalent. That is not how that works. So I just want to get that out there. Yeah, y'all might spend a lot of money, but it doesn't mean you're buying the same caliber of football player. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I mean, I would say that the roster spending, it does kind of come with an asterisk for me this year whenever you have, probably $4 or $5 million sitting on the bench with McCoy and Gibson and a boot card that's not playing. So, it's not really helping with the roster.
And your 5-star tackle for the first 4 games.
Yeah. The roster spending's nice, but those guys have to play, and it would have been nice to see what this defense would have been like with McCoy. Look, Brooks, I appreciate the therapy session. There wasn't much ball to talk here, more so as just you talk me off a ledge, and we do a little therapy here. Last question on the way out, just kind of want to get you to, I know you said you haven't broken it down like you normally would, but Joey Aguilar, I mean, were those just the turnover mistakes that everyone saw at Appalachian State kind of rearing their head? Was there something more there? What'd you see?
The 2-minute one, that when I see a football coach immediately grab his quarterback, cover his mouth, and then take his Waffle House card off of his mouth, and you can see the head coach go, "That's on me. That's my bad." That when I see situations like that, because these college coaches can talk to these quarterbacks up until the last 15 seconds, I can't imagine how many times. I would bet there's a dozen of them, maybe 2 dozen of them a game, where the last thing said to that quarterback is, "Hey, I can almost guarantee you this is going to be wide open," or, "Hey, make sure you look for this." And that looked like I'm getting pressure right now. The last thing I heard was the tight end might be open down the middle of the field, and he just kind of threw it up because we were already getting pressure. The ball in the plus territory, I felt like he was already under heat as well. I felt like both of those throws were thrown a second or two way too early because he's trying to get the ball out because he's under pressure. Also, on top of that, you never have any idea what Oklahoma's playing. Not a damn clue. You don't have a damn clue what they're playing until you get to pause it at the top of your drop on film on Sundays. And then you get to go, "Oh, they're playing 3 high," but you had no idea because they lied to you pre-snap. So that's that football team. That's what the Sooners do, man. That's why you got to be able to run the football. You got to be able to be balanced. You got to be able to maintain possession. Got to be able to wear their defense down. Got to be able to do what Ole Miss did. Ole Miss took 84 snaps, gave up 1 sack, and didn't have a turnover. That's how you beat Oklahoma.
Yeah, the first interception felt like a back foot, didn't put enough on it, maybe should have thrown it in the back of the end zone, maybe didn't see the safety, but either way underthrew it. The second one, that's an interesting point about Heupel saying "my bad," because I saw Joey come off the field asking what happened there. So, it was almost like, he had been fed bad intel. But it was also into triple coverage. So, he didn't do it with his eyes. He had made that decision up before the play, and maybe
I don't even think he looked before he threw it. It looked like he had eyes left and then just kind of did one of those. I think that's hey, let's take our drop, hold him left. It's going to be wide ass open. Let's throw it. And then that's why we come off the field and hit him with what happened.
Yep, that's a really good point. Brooks Austin, appreciate your time as always. Go subscribe to the Film Guide Network. Anything big you're working on today?
No, man, just trying to survive. We're cranking out film studies every day, all day. So, Film Guide Network, just come holler at you, boy. Appreciate you for having me
as always, man.
Thanks, Brooks.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the my bad from Heupel. I don't know. I was in the game and I hadn't found the official game footage, but the extended package I saw did have Aguilar asking him what happened there.
He looked so confused going back to the quarterback coach in the green hat type of thing. It's just like, what?
So maybe that is a good point that I hadn't really considered, that would be somebody in the headset just saying, we're going, like he said, you're going to look left and the right down the middle is going to be wide open, because it was in a triple coverage.
Yeah.
If you just watch the throw, you're like, how does he make that mistake? And then I don't know if I feel better or worse, Sam.
I was going to say, I don't know if I love just our coach being like, "Hey, Joey, don't think about anything. You're going to have this guy wide open on the right side of the field and just live or die with the outcome."
Yeah, I don't think that makes me feel better about my coach. I think I liked that Joey was confused more than just.
But also, how many times has that worked out for us too?
Yeah, I don't know. when did it work out in the big games? I'd like to know that because it was a big game where it really, really looked bad. Bubba, send us a break. We'll continue the conversation. On the other side is Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio.
Can't get enough Fan Run Radio? Download the free Fan Run app and take the best Tennessee sports conversations with you wherever you go.
Whether you are buying or selling a home or even looking for some land to build on and start a family, be sure to give Reed Emerson with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Heritage Group a shout. He is a longtime listener and supporter of Fan Run and has been serving the Mid-State for many years. Reed prides himself on his hassle-free and honest approach, and that's because he's not just chasing another commission. He wants what is best for his clients. Give Reed Emerson a call or text him today to get the process started. His number is 931-492-0418, or you can find him online at bhgheritagegroup.com.
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 865-544-8220. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at menspronaknoxville.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor, but we've helped so many guys in here just like you. Even if pills have failed, our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, performance, Peyronie's, size and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic performance and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 865-544-8220 or book in 30 seconds or less at menspronaknoxville.com. Men's Pro Knoxville, making it happen.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's. Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Your smile says it all, so make sure it's saying the right thing. At Knoxville Smiles, we believe healthy teeth mean happy lives. Whether it's a routine cleaning, whitening for that big event, or fixing a nagging toothache, our gentle team is here for you. With flexible hours, family-friendly care, and the latest technology, Knoxville Smiles makes every visit stress-free. Don't wait another day to love your smile. Call Knoxville Smiles today at 865-539-1776 or book online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
God knows I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life
I hate being at this place in the fan base right now. I hate what losing does, but hell, like I feel like for a lot of people, it had started boiling over even during wins where people were upset. The Mississippi State game, people were mad. The Arkansas game, people were mad. And the Kentucky game, people were mad at the defense. Like it was every week, just the toxicity kind of built up to where now you're losing these games. The ones that aren't Georgia and Alabama that you can look at and say, it's a talent deficiency. You took a loss to Oklahoma, which I don't care what you thought about Tennessee in the preseason. And this is what Josh Pate got mad at me for, Sam, was I called his take brain dead. But because he said, you shouldn't be mad about what happened against Oklahoma because, I had them at 8-4 in the offseason. You're an 8-4 team. That's cool, I guess, but that ignores all the context. For example, Bubba, if you're Indianapolis Colts who are 7-2, if they lost 8 games in a row to finish the season, I don't think you'd be sitting over there saying, I said they'd go 7-10 this year. It's all good. If the Indiana Hoosiers lost 3 games in a row and finished 9-3, I don't think everybody's like, we had them 9-3. No, because you know why? Expectations change when you watch a team play. Saying you had them 8-4, well, that ignores that Florida's a train wreck, a Florida team. not to point fingers, that Josh Pate said was going to have the best quarterback in the SEC and the country, and we're going to be, a top 10 team. That Florida team isn't as good. That's ignoring that Oklahoma looked pretty bad after the John Mateer injury, and that ignores that Tennessee looked better than people thought. I think it's okay for people to all of a sudden now be mad that you lost a home game at night against Oklahoma, an Oklahoma team that it wasn't like they came in and just out-talented you. It wasn't like they came in here and played an A-plus game and beat you. No, they played pretty poorly, 11 penalties, 2 turnovers, and they beat you because you played even worse. It's okay to look at that and say, hey, that's disappointing. And it's okay to do that. One more thing, Sam. It's okay to do that without it being fire Josh Heupel. Kirk Herbstreit did it too. Like, I don't know if it's just a way to talk about other sports or other teams that maybe like you don't follow super closely. You make up both people had the same exact game plan, by the way. Kirk Herbstreit and Josh Pate both did the same thing. Oh, I heard from a couple Tennessee people it's time to fire Josh. First of all, I don't think you really did. I don't think Kirk Herbstreit heard anybody saying fire Josh. He might have heard a couple drunk rednecks booing or being mad about something. He might see a couple burners on Twitter saying it's time for a change, but no serious person is saying to fire Josh Heupel. Josh Pate said, well, I got a couple texts from my buddies that I care about at Tennessee that said, is it time to have a conversation about Josh Heupel? And if you say no, it's not time to have a conversation about Josh Heupel, I think you're being disingenuous. Now, that conversation doesn't have to be to fire him, but it can be about like, hey, man, we need to tighten a couple things up here. Hey, might be time to give up some play calling duty. That could be the conversation. But both guys turn that into the Tennessee fan base has their pitchforks out and they're ready to fire Josh Heupel. No serious person is wanting to fire Josh Heupel. And I'm worried about just the literacy of people and the way they understand stuff, because I've dealt with 40 people, Sam, tweeting me about firing Josh Heupel. I have never, ever said to fire Josh Heupel. Me calling Josh Pate's take dumb, which it was using your preseason expectations before you have actual data to justify what happens in November. I would imagine, I don't listen to Josh Pate because I need a little negativity in mine, and he just praises literally everybody. But like, I would imagine he did the same thing that every college football talking head does every year. Week 2, week 3, week 4. Man, these preseason polls are really dumb. We should get rid of preseason polls. We should get rid of all these preseason talking points because they shape the way people think about stuff. We should ban preseason polls. Yet it's like, hey, well, I thought this in July, so who cares if you blew a game in really ugly fashion at home as favorites against an Oklahoma team that isn't very good.
And it would have been a completely different outlook of 3 losses on your schedule already if you had that preseason notion of, oh, Joey Aguilar is a guy that you're getting in off the streets and he's not going to be able to – he's going to put it together in some games, but maybe in some big moments he's going to kind of crumble. And you've seen him be able to quarterback this team, and you've seen your 3 losses. You've basically beat yourself all 3 times. And so, yeah, I mean, like the changing of the expectations thing to me is something that you should be able to do. And when Tennessee really hasn't had an opponent beat them yet, it feels like this is a Tennessee team that is 3 or 4 plays away from themselves from being 9-0 instead of just the other team beating them straight up 3 times.
And yeah, I got no problem saying Alabama beat us because, I know the pick 6 changed things and all that, but like they made a great play and they made a great timeout and said, hey, they're not going to run the ball here. They have no timeouts. Jump this pass. They did that. And I do think Ty Simpson and that Alabama offense would have made the plays to probably win a close one. I don't think they beat us by 17 without our wounds. But yeah, like Georgia, and if you want to talk about expectations should change and everything, like I do think it's safe to say, hey, that Georgia team, it's not really what we thought Georgia was going to be this offseason, was it? That Georgia team, they're good. They're still good. They still got Kirby Smart. They're really good, but they're not dominant. They're not some top 5 team that you just can't be on the field with. So like the further I get away from that game, the more I think Tennessee kind of blew that game too. Doing a lot of the same stuff they did to blow the Oklahoma game. And me saying that is not me saying Josh Heupel. Look here, let's get it clear. I do not think Tennessee should fire Josh Heupel. I don't think any serious person does think that. But I do think there are some mistakes that keep getting made. I do think there's still some problems. It's also funny, a lot of the people that are yelling at me about this take about firing Josh Heupel and changing things in the program, a lot of those have been the ones that's been yelling about me, yelling to me about Tim Banks all year too. So they do want changes in the program. They just don't want to blame the coaches. But what it really means is they don't want to blame Josh Heupel, which is fine. I don't want to fire Josh Heupel. I just want to play cleaner. I want to be more aggressive. I want to run the good plays. I don't want to bang my head up against a wall. 13 of our 16 first and 10 runs went for 3 yards or less. Fewer, I should say. I don't think that's good things. If it's true what he said about, that second interception being Josh Heupel or a offensive coordinator or quarterback's coach or something telling Joey the wrong thing, that turnover is on the coaching staff too. I want them to be a little bit better at that. We all want Tennessee to win. We all want Josh Heupel to be better. Sam, do you know anybody in your life that seriously wants to fire Josh Heupel?
Not right now.
Seriously. No one wants to do that. Zach, do you know anybody in your life that wants to fire Josh Heupel?
No, absolutely not.
Bubba, you know anybody? Bubba's smiling. Bubba, I know you want to fire Josh Heupel, but do you seriously want to fire Josh Heupel?
I give him 2 more years. He's got 2 years.
And I think that's a fair response. I think
that means, Faison Brown his sophomore season or so, give or take.
We'll see about Faison Brandon. We'll see what Tennessee does in the transfer portal if they try to get a veteran quarterback in. I don't think we should let a high school quarterback, especially one that missed their senior year, kind of dictate our program. Who knows if Faison Brandon even gets here and how he plays, how he responds from injury. I think he's going to be good. I think he'll be fine, but we don't know. But I think you telling me 2 more years, I think that's completely fair. I think if we get here 2 years later and we're still kind of heading into the middle of November at 9 and with 7-3, looking to kind of win the last 2 games to get to 9-3, yeah, that's not very fun. I don't want to do that. I don't think anybody wants to do that. I don't want to lose games at home that you're supposed to win. And I definitely don't want to look like we're the ones blowing the game. I was fine losing to Alabama. I was ultimately fine with losing to Georgia. Didn't love it. Had plenty of things to critique, but it wasn't some big indictment on Josh Heupel. I just don't know where Pate and Herb Street, again, take 1 or 2 guys saying something to you and doing a whole big Tennessee fans have the pitchforks out for Heupel. That's just not the case, man. That's just not the case. We don't have our pitchforks out with Josh. I think Josh's approval rating would still be pretty high. That'd be lower than it used to be. If I put a poll up, Sam, what do you think it would be in terms of approve, strongly approve, disapprove, strongly disapprove? What do you think the breakdown would be?
I'd say the majority strongly approve, and then you're probably starting to see maybe a little bit more come in on just approve.
How many disapproves do you think we have? You think I think we'd maybe get 7% disapprove and
10.
Yeah, 2%, 1 or 2 people just trolling, hitting strongly disapprove. To me, until you get to the strongly disapprove being at least 30, 40%, no one's talking about firing anybody, man. You're just trying to make Tennessee fans look bad. That's all you're doing. That's it. Give me a break. Go follow us on social media. I'll cut up that Brooks Austin interview. If you're just listening to it and you want to watch it, you don't get to watch YouTube during the day. We put those up as 20-minute standalone videos. Go give us a follow, subscribe, turn your notifications on, all those things. Fan Run TV over on YouTube. Of course, on Facebook, Fox Sports Knoxville, Twitter, Fox Sports Knox. Interact with us. We do a lot of unique exclusive content that you don't get just on Twitter or, of course, just on the radio. So take us wherever you go. Download the app, all those things. Bubba, send us a break. Hour 2's in the books. We'll kick off hour 3 with some headlines.
Check out our new and improved website at fanrunradio.com.
Today, we raise a glass of Jameson Irish whiskey to the sport of football. Hear, hear!
To Gaelic football, born in Ireland in 1885 in its thrilling blend of soccer, rugby and basketball. On a massive field, 15 players kick or hand pass a round ball to score points over a bar or into a net. No pads, no helmet, no sense.
Hear, hear!
To college football, which kicked off in 1869 when Rutgers beat Princeton 6-4 in the Battle of New Jersey. With 11 players and helmets and pads, teams battle on a 100-yard gridiron with explosive pass plays and hard-hitting tackles. Unless you're called for targeting.
Hear, hear! Since 1780, Jameson Irish whiskey has been enjoyed by sports fans all around the globe. Whether your football is Gaelic, American, or even soccer, we can all agree on super smooth Jameson Irish whiskey. Hear, hear!
Attention service members and veterans. Introducing the Griffin Law Firm, your trusted ally in military legal matters. From court martials to benefit claims, at Griffin Law, your mission is their mission. Here's VFL Marshall Griffin.
As a veteran and retired military attorney, I've successfully defended lifelong benefits and helped preserve professional futures. So I know that when you hire a military justice lawyer, you maximize your chance to get relief. With my unique experience, I can advocate for you because there's no military matter that's too big or too small. Let us help you make these critical decisions that could affect the rest of your life. Remain silent. Request counsel. Call Griffin Law.
For a free consultation, call 888-707-4282. That's 888-707-4282. Or just visit griffinlawdefense.com.
Are you thinking of buying a home but don't know where to start? Well, call VFL Josh Travis, your local mortgage expert with Foundation Mortgage, based right here in Knoxville. Whether it's your first home or your forever home, he'll keep the process simple every step of the way. To get started, visit mortgagebrokerjosh.com or call 423-312-9777 today. Foundation Mortgage Company, LLC is an equal opportunity housing company. NMLS number 1387311.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Sports.
Hour number 3 kicking off here in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. You know, I think we should pay the teachers more. I've got a couple of texts about how teachers make too much money. I think that's stupid. I think teachers should be paid more. I got a couple of texts from somebody, Sam, a buddy, that said they don't like puppies. And I think that's just stupid. How could you not love puppies? They're cuddly. They give you attention. They love you. To me, that's how dumb people saying, oh, I heard a little rumblings about firing Josh Heupel. Shut the hell up. No one's talking about firing Josh Heupel. It's just painting the Tennessee fan base to look stupid. That's all it is. Just make us look dumb. Hour 3 headlines. Give me some news. What you got?
Got a fun little exercise here to start off. This guy, Matt Brown, college sports reporter, I guess, went and did a deep dive to see which schools are selling the most booze at football games in raw numbers, as also and also per capita. You want to guess where Tennessee falls on this list?
All right, give me the qualifications. Give me the rundown again. What is it?
Basically, like what in the screenshot that he's got total revenue and then just units sold.
Okay. Units sold of what? I missed that. Sorry, I was
alcoholic beverages at football games.
Okay. I'm not gonna have a chance of guessing total units, but just where Tennessee ranks.
Sure. Maybe like what you think they bring in revenue
per year or per game.
Looks like this is through.
Because like for football, I know it was a big deal. Like whenever they got over like $1 million, but I really don't know. I would say Tennessee sells $200,000 worth of booze for big games.
We're sitting at third in the country. $1.6 million in total revenue.
And this is just for football, or is this
I think this is just for football. Yeah.
So like $200,000 per game. I mean, I guess that'd be low, right? Because we get typically 8 home games. And I said $200,000 for a good home game. So those good home games might, or maybe people are drinking the same for the bad ones too. They're just there to get drunk. Plus, they're charging you $20 a pop. 1.6 million. I mean, that's a lot. I think the hope I remember was like, hey, if you can get to the $1 million, that'd be good. Who's at number one?
LSU, Wisconsin.
Oh, nice.
No surprise there. They've so Tennessee has sold 107,473 units.
Okay.
Wisconsin has sold just over 255,000.
Those boys like drinking.
Yeah.
Those girls out there like drinking too. Who's second?
Nebraska.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I would have thought that, but hey, it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing to do here except drink.
Bad football teams too, so it's not like you can go enjoy the product on the field. It's like I might as well just get drunk and watch this. LSU at 4, so we're above LSU. We're the top team in the conference. Kentucky falls at number 3 in the SEC. Or number 3. I thought that was fun.
It feels good to be top 3. I was unfamiliar with Nebraska's game. Shout out to them.
That total revenue number for Wisconsin is unreal.
Yeah.
$3 million.
They like drinking up there.
Good for them.
We need Russell's soundboard with the smashed.
They're not spending it on talent on the field.
Nope. No, they're not. Not at all. Speaking of Nebraska, their quarterback, Dylan Raiola, out for the rest of the season with a broken fibula. Sophomore quarterback left Saturday's 21-17 loss against USC during the third quarter. Was helped off the field by their training staff. Apparently started jogging on the sidelines after leaving the medical tent, but it has been revealed that he has a broken fibula. Went 6-3 with him as their starter this year. Is just over 1,900 passing yards, ranked 6th among all quarterbacks in the Big Ten. 18 touchdowns, 6 picks. They now have a true freshman coming in relief, TJ Lateef. Tough end of the year for Raiola and Nebraska, though. Brutal loss to USC.
Do we think that I guess Matt Rule got a contract extension. So a couple of those guys got locked up. Like Rhett Lashley got like an extension that I assume takes him off the market. Matt Rule got an extension that takes him off the market. I assume. Not always, because I want to say Rule got like an extension.
Yeah, he got an extension at Baylor before he took the Panthers job, I think.
Yeah, but went to the NFL. I don't know if there's different buyout rules there, if he had something in his contract about that. I don't know how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Still kind of crazy that they went and hired him to coach the Panthers. That never really made sense, but it's even weirder in hindsight. So not saying that he can't leave. I didn't see any specifics about like what happened to the buyout when he signed that extension. Maybe it did make it to where the school locks him up. Maybe Penn State kind of soured on him. But yeah, it is a ugly end of the season for them. We'll see how this freshman looks. Although Raiola can come back next year, right? Like he's still young. He's just a damn sophomore, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're them, you still want him. Although, where does Penn State, like, have we seen anything on Penn State? Like, because it seemed like Matt Rule was going to be that floor, and maybe he still is, but I haven't seen any names, like, seriously linked with them. And I would imagine these schools want to have something in place over the next week or so before Thanksgiving.
How quick do you think those, like, you would imagine, do you think those types of schools are going to wait till the season's just completely over to be able to interview other candidates? That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe you have to, but then I ask what the hell the point was of firing these guys so early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're going
just drum
to
up the interest, I guess.
to try to stop the toxicity. But, like, I mean, the fan base sitting on pins and needles, worrying about their recruits, worrying about their recruiting class, worrying about the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Like, I think I would rather have given James Franklin a chance to fix things. Like, I don't think James Franklin was so broken. Those 2 losses are bad. And if you lose to UCLA and you lose to Northwestern, you can lose to anybody. I get that. But I think I would have given him a chance to finish 7-5 or 8-4 and maybe, come back, unless I had something in plan and something in place that was going to have us, loaded up in the transfer portal and made sure my high school recruiting class was in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
It made sense if you're going to go aggressively after Urban Meyer or Nick Saban or John Gruden, guys who, weren't coaching that were free agents. But maybe you just want to cut the cancer out sometimes. Like, I get it from a Titans perspective. They did it with Brian Callahan. The season's kind of lost now, whatever. But I don't think it was that broken with James Franklin to where they had to necessarily pull the plug. I'm not faulting them for doing it, because it would have gotten ugly. That's the thing. Like, Tennessee did the opposite, and it drove me crazy in 2017. They just waited and waited and waited with Butch Jones. Not to bring his name up, restart the counter. But, like, you just waited. And, like, it was very clear you were going to fire him. And every game was just so ugly and pathetic. And the day after was just so ugly and pathetic. You lose a game. I'm definitely going to fire him going to fire him today, right? Going to fire him? No. Nope, wait till next week.
On that front, like, is it vary from NFL to college, you think, as far as cutting coaches in the middle of the season?
Yeah, because, I mean, like, NFL, like, there's no real benefit to there's no recruiting class. There's none of that. Like, it has to get really bad, it feels like, for a lot of the NFL teams to fire their coach. Now, college, you could say that a lot of guys didn't get fired this early. Like, that's definitely changed. And the Thanksgiving was always kind of the target date. You might get fired at like game 10, game 11, but not game 3, 4, 5, and 6, which is what's happened 4 straight weeks. But I've been asking Sam all year, what does this mean for like the actual coaching hiring and the coaching, cycle process? And so far it's just meant nothing. It's just teams loading up and some rumors coming out there. Hey, so-and-so's talking to Kiffin. Hey, so-and-so's doing that. But we ain't got no updates anywhere. James Franklin to Virginia Tech kind of heated up for a bit, and then that's gone. Next headline, please.
A little bit of NFL trade deadline news as the Titans have hopefully started their sale, trading edge rusher Draymond Jones to the Baltimore Ravens for a conditional 5th. Can turn into the Jets 2026 4th-round selection, which I am definitely hoping for here.
I mean, either way, getting a Jets pick is valuable, right?
Yeah,
so, like, either it's the very top of pick of round 5. Now, is the condition also Jets round 4? So, like, if will we have a top of the 4th round from the Jets if that goes up? Is that how that works?
I think it would convert into the Ravens 4th.
Okay.
Or, sorry, it's the Jets 5th.
Or the Ravens 4th?
Or the Ravens 4th,
okay.
I believe.
Okay, so the Jets 5th should be top 3 in the round at the very least. The Ravens 4th, I mean, if things don't turn around, it could be middle of the round. So, I mean, it's a 20 spot difference maybe. But I have no issue. I don't have an issue with the Titans trading anybody. Like, I mean, I like the young pieces. I don't want to trade any of the rookies. Like, no Cam Ward, no Io Manor, no Gunnar Helm, no DK. I think all 4 of those guys could be building blocks pieces. I don't really want to trade Jeffrey Simmons either. Now, if somebody came and blew you away with 2 first-round picks, sure, but I don't want to trade him.
Yeah.
But really, that's it. Like, anybody else, hell, any of the offensive linemen I'm fine with. Not my preference because, somebody's got a block for Cam Ward. But I think the Titans and what they are doing, and it sucks because it's just a complete tear-down rebuild. Maybe we should have done it earlier instead of trying to sort of be competitive while also trying to retool. That was obviously a disaster under Carthon, and it didn't work under Vrabel. But, like, I'm fine with trading all these guys who aren't going to be here in 2 or 3 years, or that will be headed to another contract in 2 or 3 years. I got no issue with Tavondre Sweat or Jones or McCreary, but like they'll be due a big contract by the time you're just now trying to be competent in 2 years. And that's not a recipe for success, in my opinion.
Signed him on a 1-year deal. I think it's a pretty good flip for Tennessee and good for him for doing his best to get out of there. He had all of his 4.5 sacks this season in the last 4 games.
Yeah, and
he said nice things about the Titans on the way out. Did you see his tweet?
Yeah, I was going to say he didn't seem like thrilled to be leaving.
Yeah.
He's just like, hey, it's a business. Like, I appreciate my time in Nashville, love Nashville, looking forward to being in Baltimore. So, like, that's the way you want to see it handled.
Said Cam's the truth, too. Just give him some time.
Yeah. But, like, I got to say, like, the Titans, you know, first, second, third, fourth, and then a couple extra fifths and a couple extra sixths. You know, maybe that fifth becomes a fourth. Like, when you tell me that they did pretty good in the middle of the draft last year with DK and Helm and Io Manor, like, you know, maybe they're pretty good at scouting and finding some guys. Get me as many draft picks as possible. It sucks. It's a wasted year. Titans are trash. No reason in keeping our trash players around.
Maybe a name for the Titans to keep an eye on for future head coaching, as Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski handing over play calling duties to offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. This is now the second straight season where Stefanski has handed over play calling duties in the middle of the season. Did it last year with Ken Dorsey as his OC. Now he's doing it again with Tommy Rees. Personally, I wouldn't be too mad if kind of the wheels fell off for the Browns and they get upset with Stefanski and they kick him to the curb.
He's won coach of the year a couple times. So, like, you know, I do think he is good, but, like, they have had some stinker seasons, and, like, it does feel like I'd be pretty tired of him if I was a Browns fan. But, yeah, sacrificing his offensive coordinator is a nice move. It worked for him before. Maybe it'll work for him again. All right, good batch of headlines. Anything else you need to get to?
That's about it.
Okay. You said you got trivia ready? Is this me versus the P team?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Bubba, you feeling good about your trivia chances today? Zach, you any good at trivia?
I'll take my chances.
Bubba, I'll see you in the octagon, my friend.
Victory screech!
Stick with us. Let's talk sports on Fan Run Radio.
The flagship station for Tennessee fans. This is Fan Run Radio. The voluntary reaction.
This football season, tune into Big Orange Country's post-game radio free-for-all, The Voluntary Reaction, presented by the Griffin Law Firm. We'll be live on the Fan Run Radio app as soon as every UT game is over, taking your calls and breaking down the game to levels that can only be described as beyond scientific. So tune in and drink with us from the keg of glory, or drown in the pool of despair. The Voluntary Reaction on Fan Run Radio.
The Voluntary Reaction. Raw, unfiltered, real.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-88-99789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
We really need to get some branded stuff. Shirts, hats, promo items, something professional.
I mean, we could just find a website and order a bunch of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess. But isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah, they specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
In a world filled with deadlines and screens, sometimes we forget the simple joys of life. Days filled with special moments. At Inward Half, we understand the essence of these moments. Feel the difference between our breathable fabrics and flexible apparel as you disconnect from the hustle and bustle and reconnect with what truly matters. Inward Half. Simple luxury for on and off the course.
Hey, Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
I ain't choose the rhyme. Rhyming chose me, so I hit the track running like a
All right, Sam, what you got for us? You said you got some trivia ready?
Yeah, we got some Tuesday trivia outsourced today. Shout out Vol and SC coming through with it. But today's categories got some interesting ones. General, Bible, Spelling Bee, Movie Collab, and Capital Cities.
Capital Cities, Movie Collab, General. What were the other two?
Spelling Bee and Bible.
Bible. Oh, God.
Zach, I am cooked.
Yeah.
I got you on some of them.
Well, P-Team, you can go first if you want to, or make the decision to go second. I'll let you win the coin toss.
You wanna defer? You want the ball?
We'll defer.
Bubba's deferred to the second half.
You know what? I kind of appreciate the strategy there because I don't know where to go here. Let's go movie collab. Let's go movie collab for 3.
Movie Collab for 3. Chris Pratt, Will Ferrell, and Morgan Freeman.
Will Ferrell, Chris Pratt, Morgan Freeman. This feels animated. Chris Pratt, Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman and Will Ferrell. Oh God. The secret Lego movie. I don't know.
Wow, what a pull at the end there. Lego movie is correct.
Let's go. Let's go.
You were about to say something
I was about
wrong.
to say they have the Secret Life of Pets, but I'm like, that's a dumb guess. That's Kevin Hart. So okay. What a trickster
pull there.
Whoever the hell put that an animated movie as a 3-pointer. I hope you have a bad day. I hope you have a real bad day.
All right, Zach, what are we thinking here?
Let's go Bible for 2.
No. All right. The
Bible for
B-I-B-L-E.
2. The 4 Gospels are accounts told by who?
Well, the 4 Gospels are Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Correct.
That would be the answer. I knew that one. Shoot. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Give me General for 3.
General for 3. What amendment ended slavery?
Oh, God. This is one you have to know.
I'm surprised you're
no, this is one that I
this.
do know. It's just, I'm struggling. I'm struggling in my head. Oh, no. This is going to be, everyone's going to yell at me. This is a bad feeling. I've got 3 different numbers in my head. Am I confusing the women's suffrage? Because I always talk about that one. Because of family ties. 13th.
That is correct.
Okay.
Saved yourself. Good job.
Oh, thank God.
Exhale right there.
Thank God for that.
6-2.
I really hope the women's is the 19th because that's what I was thinking. I was like, no, it's women's suffrage. I love and respect women, but I don't know if it's right or not. Maybe I shouldn't have said
Maybe I'll
that.
make an amendments category.
No, don't. Every time an amendment comes up, I think about how I need to go study and memorize all the amendments because that's something we should know. My heart is beating so fast out of my chest. Let's go. Shot to 13.
I'm going to go crazy here. Capital cities for 4.
I like the strategy.
This seems like a real tough 4-pointer. Capital cities for 4, Somalia.
Yikes.
You know what's crazy? I feel like I just watched the documentary on
Captain Phillips.
The plane that went down, the Black Hawk Down scenario.
Oh,
because that was in Somalia.
Oh, the Black Hawk Down, the movie, right? Like,
yeah.
I didn't realize a documentary. I thought that was.
Well, there's the movie, but
I know. I'm kidding. Okay. Just a little joke. You have an answer? Make sure you're not on the phone over there, Sam. Make sure they ain't doing no funny business.
You can just kind of get your thoughts out on the microphone here. It's okay. You don't have to plot.
That's the thing. I'm just
also put a time limit on them. They don't know this. They don't know it.
10 seconds, 5. I mean, yeah, I don't think you guys are getting this.
Well, there's going to be a buzzer beater here. Just you wait.
Not for me. There's not.
3,
5, 4, 3.
Shannon Gulf.
Oh wow, what a guess.
Mogadishu.
That was it too.
Close. You know what? Big God help me with the slavery question. This one's for you, Big God. Give me Bible for 3. Come on.
Bible for 3.
I went to church my whole life. I went to Sunday school. I knew the 4 Gospels. Let's see what 3 is.
Jesus fed a large crowd from what foods?
Oh my God! For what?
3.
That's
Drake.
I mean, that was. I mean, it was bread and fish, right? Bread and fish. I mean, bread's what I was always told. Bread and fish. I don't know, Sam. Saying I'm wrong technically. What is it? Is it not bread?
I mean, you are right with bread and fish, but the answer that we've been given here is like the specific number of each.
Oh, okay. So you want the number of fish?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's not exactly what the question was. The question was written. What food was it? Was it 2 loaves of bread?
The hell are you doing over here, Zach?
Well, I mean, I kind of feel like, last couple weeks ago, I was like, what was written on the question? The question was what food? So, I mean, it was bread and fish. It wasn't how much of the food, but I already said 2 loaves of bread is what I had in my head. Maybe it was like 6, 10. I don't know. What is it?
5 loaves of bread and 2 fish.
2 fish.
You had the 2.
Yeah, 2 fish.
Didn't have the 5 loaves.
I feel like I should get credit for that because it was.
Yeah, I don't know how to.
What's the food,
to handicap that one. Yeah.
Whatever. At least I knew the food.
Mm-hmm.
It's good enough for me. It was how many loaves of bread? 5.
5.
Okay. I won't take the points. Go ahead.
All right, Zach. My strategy did not pay off, bud.
Well, go big or go home. Bible for 4.
Sticking in the Bible
category.
category.
They go big, they go with a 5-pointer, but whatever.
What kind of wood was Noah's Ark made of?
Go for wood.
That is correct.
I also went to Sunday school, Jonathan.
I should have taken my 3-pointers on the one I got right. Give me okay, let's go. This is for my boy. This is for Tony. This is for Vitello. Give me spelling bee for 3.
Spelling bee for 3.
So we had an inside
Insincerity.
joke on our video when we were hanging out about my spelling bee participation.
I remember
my
that.
mom. Yeah, so this is for you, Tony, who did a podcast Busting with the Boys and went into some details on the way the coaching change happened. I'm gonna go listen to that after this and cry. So let's hear it. What you got for me? What word?
Spelling bee for 3. Insincerity.
Insincerity.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I know how to spell insincerity. It's just a question of whether or not I get this. Oh, wait. It's so hard whenever you can't write it down.
It is.
All right, I'm just going to try it this way. This is the way the kids do it on the TV.
Are you going to write it out on
I'm
the
going to write it on my
desk here?
hand. Yeah, I'm just writing it on the board.
So is this final or is this your
No, I'm going
thought process?
I'm just going to spell it as I go.
So this is your final.
This is my final,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Insincerity. I just wrote an M. Let me start over. I wrote an M because I was trying to do cursive in my head. It's a weird thing. INSINC. Okay, I'm just going to go faster. I'm just going to go faster. I'm just going to pretend like I'm typing.
I'm ready, brother.
I'm just going to pretend like I'm typing.
Okay.
It's so hard to do this. These damn kids are crazy for being able to do this on national TV. I misspelled defendant in the state spelling bee, Bubba. A very easy word, but the lights were too bright and I choked because I get lost in my head.
Is the Scripps National Spelling Bee an underrated athletic event?
I don't think it's athletic by any means, but I think it's being able to perform under pressure. I mean, we do equate performing under pressure with athletics, so in that regard it is. But to me, it's more like diffusing bombs. I think it's more like that. All right, sorry, Bubba. I'm going to go. Insincerity. INSINCER. Oh no.
We got to go final here.
If I got it right so far, INSINCERTAINTY. Insincerity.
Incorrect.
Damn it.
INSINCERITY.
Oh, okay. I spent a whole different damn word
And
when I got to the end. Yeah, when I got to the damn end. Oh well. What are you going to do?
I think you would have gotten it right.
I would have.
You second guessed yourself.
I could spell it. If I was typing it out for you, I would have spelled it.
Spell check. Yeah.
No, without the spell check, Sam. But just whatever. Go ahead. If I had a pen and paper, I would have spelled it right. Go ahead. Whatever. Go ahead. Move on. That's my bad.
6-2. Or no, 6.
Apparently it's 6-6. Yeah, even though I
6-6.
didn't get the bread and fish category right, even though I answered bread and fish. But go ahead. 6-6.
Go ahead, Bubba.
So we could go for 3.
Again, the question was what food,
which would be on par. We could go for 2 to try to get just a quick lead, but then he'd have to get a 3 to strike right back.
You could do a 1 to do a really low hanging fruit joke.
You good at spelling?
Depends on the day. Today could or could not be that day. I don't know yet.
Spelling bee for 2?
Please miss it.
2 or 4?
Let's go 2.
Spelling bee for 2, please.
Miss it. Please
Spelling bee for 2. Conquerors.
I feel like this is a harder word than insincerity, excuse me, but conquerors. CONQUERORS. Conquerors.
That is correct.
Good job, Bubba. Give me movie collab for 4.
Movie collab for 4. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
Claire
Danes.
And Brian Dennehy.
The Basketball Diaries. That's my answer. Is that wrong?
That is wrong.
Damn it.
Romeo and Juliet.
Okay. That's embarrassing to say it so quickly and get it wrong.
You seemed very confident in that.
That's what's embarrassing about it.
That almost made me have to second guess the question.
No, I don't know why I thought that. I don't even know if there's a girl in that Basketball Diaries, but I don't think I would have gotten to Romeo and Juliet.
The Basketball Diaries?
Yeah, Leo plays like a.
I've never even heard of it.
Is this like the Romeo and Juliet that's like modern day?
Yeah, it came out like in the late 90s. I never watched it. That's on me. That's a bad miss. I should have taken some time.
Got to lock in here, man.
Yeah, the spelling bee really hurt me.
We filling capital cities for 3, please.
Oh no.
Capital cities for 3. Hungary.
I think I know this.
Go ahead and tell me, Bubba.
Not official yet. Just dialogue here.
Throwing it out there.
Although now that I think about it, could most likely be wrong. So immediately, I think this is 100% wrong now. Budapest.
That's what I was thinking too.
Well,
That's what I came up with initially, like whenever the question was asked. If you don't have anything else better, I don't have anything else better. Let's just.
Except trying to think all the way back to their fighting days back in the 1400s.
Right.
And what cities would come about from that.
Budapest is all I can think of.
Let's see. Prague is not that.
No.
Washington, D.C. Not that.
It's not Chicago. I'm good with Budapest. I got a really bad feeling it's wrong, but
Budapest, final answer.
Oh, no, that's what I thought it was. So there's no way it's right because I don't know capitals.
Budapest is correct.
Damn it.
Money.
Rats.
Money.
Rats.
John up against it.
Yeah, I know I should have taken my damn 3 points. I was trying to be too nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does this mean we're heading into round 6? I'm down 11-6. Oh, God. Can I spell? I've gotten so dumb. I've gotten so dumb since switching to the mornings. I am a good speller, but I don't think there's any chance in hell I can spell this live on air without writing it down or typing it at this point. But I'm going to try anyways. Give me spelling bee for 4.
For 4.
Yeah.
Spelling bee for 4.
It's round 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, round 6.
Spelling bee for 4. Pneumonia.
Oh, baby. I've had this so many times when I was a kid. Let's see here. P-N-E. Damn, here it goes again. I'm lost in my head. P-E. This isn't me saying it yet. I'm just kind of talking.
You tell me when it's final.
Yeah. P-E-N.
I think the faster you go, the longer you wait, the worse it gets.
The more you talk, the more annoyed I get, and the worse it gets. P-N-E-O.
Is this final yet?
No. I'm just thinking out loud. I'll tell you when it's final. P-N-E. No. Okay. P-N-E-U-M-O-N-I-A. Pneumonia. Final.
Correct.
Let's go. Let's go. I did have that like 3 times as a kid and it almost killed me. And then I had it like last year, so I've got a lot of experience with it.
Was that a 4 or 2?
4.
That was a 4.
Shout out to Bernie Mac.
All right, Zach, what are we feeling here?
How many more rounds we have?
You got one more question, the 6th round, then there's one more. There's 7 rounds. You got 2 questions left. I have 1, you have 2.
You want to go spelling bee for 2?
We go to that.
That has already been taken.
That's already taken?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that was the Conquerors.
Okay.
Come on.
Are you feeling a little biblical?
Yeah, let's go Bible. We go 1. There's 1 was not taken.
We got 1 or
2.
5.
Yeah. Bible for 1.
Bible for 1, please.
What did Adam and Eve eat off the tree?
Bible for 1. Who betrayed Jesus?
Oh.
Judas.
Correct.
Chris Jericho. He called himself Judas.
That's just a little wrestling.
Yeah.
A little wrestling.
Yeah.
The 1 point strategy there is pretty good. Let's see, because now I got to go spelling bee for 5, movie collabs for 5. Because if I go 2, they can go 1 for a win. All right, do I want to go movie collab for 5 or general for 4 or spelling for 5? But spelling for 5 is going to be stupid. I guess the answer here is to go general for 4. Come on. Non-science, non-literature, non-geography, sports, movies, pop culture. Come on.
The famous Iditarod dog sled race
All right.
starts and ends in what 2 cities?
Oh, I wish I would have asked this question.
The 2 cities.
Correct.
I will have a question after this.
I mean, it's just the big Alaskan dog race up there, right? I mean, I don't know anything other than it being Alaska. I don't even know. Can I name 2 cities in Alaska?
I can.
I can. I used to live there. I mean, the only 2 cities I know, it's not going to be in. Yeah, the only 2 cities I know are Juneau and Anchorage. So that's the only thing I can guess.
That is wrong.
You got one of the 2, Anchorage and Nome.
Okay.
So technically.
Oh, yeah, give me a technically here. Yeah, let's go. What's the technically?
Technically, it does not start in Anchorage. The official start is not up until you get up the road past Wasilla.
Okay.
That's where it actually starts, but there's a ceremonial start in
Okay,
Anchorage.
so yeah, I got to throw that question out. 13-12 lead when you look at my my Bible question.
You just incriminated yourself.
Yep, got to throw the question out. It's an unfair question. I couldn't really understand.
Yeah. Well, tell you what, you find Nome on a map, we'll throw it out.
Just can I zoom in as far as I want on the map?
Got the state. I know.
Yeah, I know where Alaska is on the map. The state.
Obviously,
I go to Google Maps and I start zooming in. I'll find it.
What if we gave you like
3 points for getting the Bible question right? That'd be great.
5 seconds to find Nome on the map, zooming in.
I couldn't find it in 5 seconds.
Give him a 3. It's fine.
3?
Or whatever he got, whatever it was worth. Give it 4.
Oh, you want to give him the 3?
No, because then it would have changed my strategy. I went movie collab for 2 because I don't want him to be like, well, I gave you 3, I still won. Just whatever, they won. But I got one more question.
You just put the knife in.
Wow. We'll do something here.
Put the knife in.
Bible.
John should be winning.
Bible for 5.
Bible for 5.
Bible for 5. How many Philistines did Samson slay with a jawbone?
Wish it would have been about what he used. I knew that, the jawbone.
Right. The jump from 4 to 5 is insane.
That is typically how it goes.
Go ahead. What's the answer? Tough guys. Let's hear. Put the knife in. Because if you miss this,
let me count my fingers. Let me draw my fingers and then just draw the desk real quick.
If you miss this,
no, that's not right. I got to recount here.
If you miss this,
3.
I'm taking my 3 points and claiming victory from the Bible question, just for the record. So you better get it right.
Why would you do that?
Because I think I got it right. What's the answer? You'll stick the knife in. Go for it.
I've never forgot the question. So
Samson, jawbone, killing people.
How many people did he kill?
How many did he slay?
Either way, let's move on. What's the answer? What you got? Come on, somebody.
Number
75.
1,000.
Yeah.
Convenient.
It is.
It's easy to tell the story that way.
Nice
like,
and round.
Killed 1,000 people. This is a good round number. All right, congrats to me for my 13-12 win. Love that. Shout out to those fish and bread. Last call on the other side is Talk Sports on Fan Run Radio.
You're locked onto Fan Run Radio, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and online at fanrunradio.com.
Dick's House of Sport at West Town Mall is a destination devoted to sport, and it's your destination for exclusive events and experiences. Come visit a store like no other. Check out our 40-foot rock wall, golf performance center, Hit Tracks batting cage, and outdoor turf field. You can now rent our space for private events and birthday parties. Learn more about our events and exclusive product launches on Facebook and Instagram at Dick's House of Sport KNX. Dick's House of Sport, proud partner of Tennessee Athletics.
Hi, I'm Bo Kregner from the Kregner Group. Are you looking to buy or sell a home? Whether you're upgrading, downsizing, or just need a change, it's never been more important to have experienced, trustworthy representation in the real estate process. So if you have any real estate questions, I'd love the opportunity to earn your trust. Call me anytime for a free chat, 865-742-1035, or find me online at bonowshouses.com. The Kregner Group, real estate the right way.
For over 3 years, Crumble Cookies has served the Knoxville area. From Clinton Highway to Parkside Drive, even our friends out in Maryville have reached you, our fans, with the best cookies in the game. This fall, Crumble is gearing up for yet another fantastic season. Whether you're tailgating or looking for a pick-me-up after getting the kids from school, Crumble has you covered. Download the Crumble app to to check out this week's rewards and features. And stop on by. Tell them Fan Run sent you, but don't miss the cookies.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Last call here on the program. Seeing that video just made me not like Kurt Herbstreit even more. I just don't like that guy.
Did his dog make a guest appearance?
That was one of my favorite quips over the weekend. It was very weird how ESPN was like sending out all the college football media members to like tweet out about how, hey, we're getting ready to do a great show. Hope you guys are going to get to watch. Go to this website to tell YouTube TV to pay us the money. Like every single person was doing that. And then a couple people in the replies of Kirk Herbstreit was like, maybe we could afford this if they didn't have to fly your dog first class. Maybe ESPN wouldn't be hurting for so much money if they didn't have to take that damn dog everywhere. Gotta have my dogs out here. Him yelling at the fans, it's just gross. I don't like him, especially with his little stupid ball cap on. Something about him wearing a ball cap I don't like either. Maybe it's because always is seen without his hair, with his hair and no hat on. He looks like an evil guy with his ball cap on.
You think he'd be the type of guy to go to Turkey for a hair transplant?
Probably just because he's on TV. I feel like if you're on TV, it'd be tough to lose your hairline.
It's the type of hat that does piss you off because it just says Thursday Night Football on it. It's not even like a cool brand or like a team or anything. It just says Thursday Night Football on it.
It just looked like something I feel like the Keith Urban types would wear. I don't know. Maybe I just remember it being black and just, I don't know, it just looked black and it just looked like, I didn't even read the Thursday Night Football. But that is even worse. Like, I guess he's having to go out and try to promote
PR for Thursday Night Football on his podcast.
It's the NFL. It's the NFL, Kirk. You tell us to go watch Thursday Night Football isn't going to make a difference. It's going to make me want to watch less. Give Josh Heupel a 100-year contract. Well, that's a little extreme, too. That's as dumb as saying to fire him.
Kind of interesting because, Amazon and Thursday Night Football, ESPN and Disney, we got competing companies there.
It is weird to me whenever those guys get to do both and get to work for multiple, but I guess it's fair. But it is a little weird. Sam, did you see that all 22 angle of the one interception or the fumble return for a touchdown for Tennessee?
Yeah, it made it even worse than what I was thinking back on.
Yeah, you really pointed that out to me, and then I saw the all 22 version, and it made me even more angry. Like maybe Brazel wouldn't have caught him, maybe Deshaun Bishop wouldn't have caught him, but like I gotta say, I feel like between those two and Mike Matthews, and look, it's easy for me, chunky man here, to sit here and say run, hustle, while being chunky and overweight. Yeah, I get the irony. But, like, those are three players that I would have thought did the whole I'm going to run and sprint it out regardless. I understand they might be tired, from running a fast offense. I get that, but you at least got to run, man.
ball's on the ground. That's panic mode in football. You got to do anything possible. You got to scrape the bottom of the barrel in terms of, energy or whatever you got. See a lot of walking guys there.
Those guys have been great this year, and like I said, they're playing fast, they're playing it, but like they literally, neither one of them make it past midfield. Neither Brazel nor Matthews make it past midfield. And there was plenty of time as Kitzelman's getting drugged 15 yards for those guys to have made it. Chris Brazel is at, I want to say like the damn, I mean, he's at the 20 when the fumble goes down. Like, you're telling me you couldn't have ran 31 yards to get to midfield in that time? Like, that's sad. It's a lack of efforts. And if Tennessee wins that game, we don't talk about it really. But it's one of those things that when you lose, you start looking for signs. And that's just one that kind of jumped out to me. Bubba, anything we missed so far today?
Oh, we missed a couple things. There's one thing that Zach really wants to get off his chest.
All right, Zach, the floor is yours. Get it off your chest, whatever it is.
Walt Weiss is the next manager of the Atlanta Braves.
Okay, that's a good one. That maybe should have been in headlines, Sam. Are you trying to hide from the fact that Walt Weiss got promoted?
1,000,000%.
Sorry, buddy.
Well,
disgusting hire.
Let's go. Get it off your chest, boys. What is it?
Disgusting hire from the Braves.
It doesn't feel like an Alex Anthopoulos hire. It feels like a Liberty Media, Terry McGurk. Like, really?
They hadn't really been linked with anybody, right? Because, look, I won't pretend to be a baseball insider or be, like, up to speed with it. I know Vitello's name loosely got thrown away or thrown around with it, but, like, Sam, am I wrong in saying that it felt like an interim coach, or not an interim, but a promotion of sorts, like an in-house hire was going to be made? I thought that was kind of understood the entire time, but again, maybe I wasn't as connected and paying attention to it.
I don't know. The Braves are too young and exciting of a team to just keep rolling with just like interim, not interim guy, but just like hiring from within the family type of thing. It's just, it doesn't move the needle whatsoever. Pretty much did the same thing with Brian Snicker, and it's just Brian Snicker 2.0 all over again.
Would you not take a World Series though?
Walt Weiss ain't winning a World Series.
I think would you not have said the same thing about Brian Snitker, though? Now, you could tell me the roster's different, and I get that, and the Dodgers got hurt and decimated by injuries in 21. I get all that. Yeah, Acuna was hurt too, whatever. But, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what it takes to be a good baseball manager. So, was there a sexy splash hire you could have went and made?
Tony Vitello.
Like, outside of Tony Vitello, like, none of these baseball managers, very, very rarely has a baseball manager gotten hired where everyone's like universally praising it and be like, oh, that's a big time name and somebody we know. Like, I mean, I just don't know who even candidates are. The Giants obviously hired Vitello. The Angels hired what? Kurt Suzuki?
Yeah.
Would that have fired you up if they hired Kurt Suzuki?
Well, see, that was the thing, right? It's like you go for a younger name that maybe, fresh on the scene, younger name, maybe that kind of resonates with that. Because, we're coming up on Acuna. That 10-year deal, it's a couple years away, but like Acuna's the guy that you don't get to the final year to.
Right. Either you have to trade him or you extend him.
Right.
You don't play fire, with fire. I get that. Now, look, I don't know again, but I did see someone saying that they think that Ronald and Weiss reportedly have a fantastic relationship. Is that not?
I saw
is
that
true or no? Like, this is a guy that's the director of marketing for Baseball Pro, Pete State. I don't know if he's a media member or whatever, but I saw that go around, and he at least works in baseball a little bit. But like he said, reportedly Walt Weiss and Acuna have a great relationship. So it can't hurt if that's true.
I hope it's true. Absolutely.
From what I had read the previous couple of days, like before this hire, was that the Braves were pretty interested in getting the Dodgers bench coach.
Okay.
And they were kind of trying to see, I guess, gauge that interest after the World Series had ended.
Now would that have fired?
This just kind of feels like a plan B hire.
Would that have fired you up more? Because I got to say the Dodgers bench coach wouldn't, on paper, sound very exciting, because the bench coach, they win, don't get me wrong, but it's like, I thought we gave Dave Roberts credit for that, but then also like, hey, it's $1 billion roster. Like,
to me, it's kind of like, it's kind of the same process of like so many college football teams trying to go hire someone from Nick Saban's staff and trying to kind of replicate that magic. It obviously hasn't worked out in certain cases, but it certainly has in some others.
I will say, and that's fair, and I will say I understand the frustration. It's one thing, and we talked about it with Vitello, right, and Elander. It's one thing to promote from the staff when the staff is really good and things are going well. So like it's easy to sell you on Elander because, hey, it's just more Tony Vitello stuff. From a Braves perspective, I don't feel like the vibes have been very high the last couple of years. You know what I mean? So I do understand the frustration of just saying, hey, here's more of that. Here's his right-hand man. And you're kind of like, hey, this last couple of years haven't been fun. How about some new blood?
Yeah. Well, like with the Elander thing, it's like, hey, this guy's like the director of recruiting. Like he has his hands
sure
on the success of this program. Walt Weiss, bench coach, like
he was a manager, right, with the Rockies,
and he was terrible.
Now I will say the Rockies, that was whenever they were kind of at their just not spending, doing anything, right? Is that right?
That was the end of the Cargo, Matt Holiday,
and that was when
when
they were basically tearing it down. So
yes.
I don't think it's really fair to judge him for that either. But at least he does have some experience. I'm not going to try to sell you on this being an exciting hire. I don't think it is. But I was just genuinely curious, like who would have been an exciting hire for Braves fans, because I never really hear about those big coaching searches in baseball. Outside of Don Mattingly and Joe Torre jumping to the Dodgers and stuff like that. Like typically, they're just kind of afterthoughts.
Young blood, I think it would be the.
If that's your critique, that's fair. Like if you wanted to go a completely new direction, that's fair. Now, correct me if I'm wrong with the Braves. A lot of the turmoil, or at least a lot of the bad vibes, have been based around injuries, though, right? Like I think a lot of Braves fans didn't necessarily think it was rotten, right? It's just like, hey, we were really banged up. It was kind of impossible to win this year.
Right. You didn't have Strider coming into the year. You didn't have Acuna. When Strider came back,
then more pitching. Good. Yeah, then more pitching got hurt. So
right.
It's not like it needs to be torn down. I don't think. Now, is it as promising as it once was a couple of years ago when you had all those guys under contract and it looked like, Ozzie and Albies and Freeman, or even after Freeman, like Riley and them are going to like lead a new surge to more World Series. Sure, the vibes aren't as high as they were then, but
I will say this. I don't think it will be that hard to get back to having that fire.
To me, he looks like a Braves manager.
He does.
Maybe it's because he just has the Braves uniform on in this picture.
I think he just looks like an old school manager who's like smoking cigs.
Well, that's what
he looks like.
I feel like that's how
for the Tigers.
Well, I feel like that's how Bobby Cox looked, and I feel like that's how Snitker looked too. Like I feel like every Braves manager in my life has looked like that guy. So
it fits.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully my Braves fans and my Braves friends are happy. Hopefully Ron Acuna hasn't peaked and doesn't force his way out. But he is a big John Morant fan, so watch out. John might be forcing his way out. Maybe Acuna does too. That'll do it for us today. Good job by you guys over there on the other side of the glass, the P team. Sam, good job by you.
Vols play at 4 o'clock in an 8v9 matchup against NC State.
4 o'clock for a top 10 matchup. Okay. Thank you for the update. Let's watch it. I'm pumped for that. Hopefully Kim Caldwell and the girls just pick up where they left off last year. That'll do it for us. The Tony Basilio Show coming up next. Stay locked in on Fan Run Radio.